analyzing Kart Wii
All right, let's go.
150cc world records. This is the 6th year I've been doing this now. It's been a lot of fun.
6 years.
8 years.
And out of those 6, I think I've reacted to, I think every single one except the first one, or the first 2 probably. Because I did my first one in 21. I've seen all of these videos obviously, but the ones that I've reacted to and given my input, I think it's been the first, the last 4, yeah. One with Mitch and 3 by myself.
So get something to drink here. I got a fresh cup of coffee.
It's cool
here.
to see the
Get your
changes
tea,
happen.
Water, snacks, etc. LC.
Like if NMeade stops uploading videos, I think that's whatever. But as long as he makes this at least every year, then it's a big deal. Like he should never not make this video. So hopefully he will always keep doing that.
This has not been improved in the past year.
Yeah, this run wasn't improved, but it was a good run from last year. So
I think Casey got exactly what he wanted here with this record. In case you guys don't know, Casey tied the WR with this current time Cole, the 774. And this 733 was the untie of them when Casey improved.
Yeah.
Cole has not played the game.
I don't really comment much about this run because I don't really watch it. I don't really have much to say about it. I've seen this run so many times.
Last Peach Beach World
Really
record,
good run.
pretty sure. And I think I talked to Cole a good number of years ago. Random
I will talk
message
about the
here
other
and
ones though.
and he wasn't playing for quite a while at that point. So this is definitely a record that I 100% see standing for multiple years.
Same. Like there is literally no one. Like the closest ones. Okay, we'll see the top 10.
Recent activity near the top echelon here for a little while now. So
yeah, I mean Aaron W. He's like the closest. Daniel hasn't played. Cole won't come back. Swear hasn't played. Mitch has played, but I don't think Mitch can get a record. I don't think Aaron can get it either, but yeah, no one can get it. Besides maybe Cole, but he ain't coming back. So.
With that in mind, I think this will definitely
It's gonna be like a new player or maybe one of these if they decide to like
we shall
full
see what
force
happens
LC.
here. Moving
But
on
I don't
now
really
to
know if anyone's actually like willing to do that.
Moo Moo Meadows. This also did not get an improvement in the past year.
Yeah, but this
So
record
this
is really
remains
good. It
on
doesn't
top.
need to be improved in my
And
opinion.
You can peep the graphics here now. I've included some more stats here in a tasteful way.
I would have thought BKS would be better, but it's probably because the lap 3 being 24.990, like that's the lap 3 that's in this run. So if that's like well actually no, I think they include lap 2 as a separate split. So lap 2, lap 3 isn't the same. So I guess that makes sense. Then low 1, I mean that would be an insane time, honestly. Like, yeah.
For these videos, for your viewing pleasure and context, everyone. So BKS stands for Best Known Split, and BKS is in any type of Mario Kart game or time trial, etc. is the community's collective best
Can you guys hear
splits that
NMeade? Let
anyone
me know.
has hit. So kind of shows like a human theory potential for that current moment in time. I still think the BKSs here are a little bit underbait. I think they'll definitely
Really?
give a 114 with time.
Okay, 114 is kind of a stretch. That is definitely a stretch. If you want to get 114, then you would have to get like low 9 lap 3. Low 0.9 lap 3. Lap 1 can be like a 0.0, maybe like a low 1. Lap 2 would have to be 24 as well. That ain't gonna happen. With the current way you do this section, like you have to do this double hop there. Like I don't think there's a way you can do a single hop there.
And even further, I think a 114.
Because you see how early you have to jump here, like this early, and you're already at 84, so that loses like at least like 70 milliseconds, maybe more. So it's very bad.
Will be hit by someone humanly.
Maybe there's a way you can do a single hop there.
May not be for a couple of years.
Because then you
but
could get
I
a similar
definitely see it
split to
because
lap
there's
3.
a super
But you see
busted
that lap 2 it's a low 1. It wasn't
last
perfect,
turn
but
strategy
that can be a
done,
0.0.
Where it's like an instant
I think splits could be 114, but I don't think it's gonna happen like humanly. 114 sounds kind of crazy.
flip, super soft drift, and if you get the MT really fast,
But this lap
you get
3 is the
wheelie
BKS,
right
so
away,
it looks almost
saves,
perfect to me.
Like almost up to 0.1, I believe.
No.
Over like a really
Okay, I think
good
he's
last
talking
turn as
about
it is
this
right
strat,
now.
like the strat at the end where you do the slip. It saves maybe like 30 ms, 40 ms maybe. The reason why it's not like even that good is because you have to chain earlier the coming lap. So it's good for lap 3. Like here, lap 3, he could have probably done it, and he could have gotten like a mid to low 0.9 lap 3, new BKS. Everything else in that lap looked pretty good though. So I would say like doing that strat lap 3 is pretty good, but lap 2, lap 1, it's kind of... I mean, if you get the chain, then yeah, by all means, it saves time for sure, but...
Now, like this one's
There
pretty
he
good
didn't
here,
get it, but
but
that last
even
turn was
faster
pretty
than
good
that
still.
by quite a bit. So, with the most busted strategies,
Yeah, I would say
I
a
think it'll be
low
done well.
0.9 lap 3 is
But for
possible,
now,
and that
will
would
be
probably
improved
give the
following
BKS
year. I think there's
114, but...
potential. A lot of players here are very good, so
Yeah. That top 10 is kind of crazy though. Yeah. I would say Logan Casey, maybe Zelda Cubed, they could probably go down. And Sosis could probably get a 0.1. But I don't see a 114 though. 114 is too crazy. BKS, yes. RTA, probably no.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if there is a rogue random improvement by someone here on these charts for this track. Sorry to smack the mic there. Sorry about that. Anyway, moving on.
All right.
Mushroom Gorge, No Glitch. Oh my
Oh,
god.
yes.
This
Okay.
has got to be one of the most crazy head
Yeah, new strats need to
moments
happen.
here. This is real life, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mary Kart Wii. So,
I don't really have anything
Mary
to say
Kart
about this
Wii
run. It's kind of ugly.
normally called Mario
Still can be
Bike
improved
Wii
by so much,
because
but...
it's just Funky Kong Flame Runner Simulator, right?
But
Parts are not
I'll comment
useful
about the
here.
Alperen run because I know he
As well
watched.
as
I think he
outside
included that one
drifting
too.
bikes until
I watched
recently.
the like
This is
first 10
absolutely
minutes of
busted,
this
it's insane.
video, so I know.
Flam Bam is absolutely crafted the game. Look at this.
Yeah. No doubt about
Super,
Flam being good,
long
but
story short,
but
there is a strategy
but this
called,
run still can go so
technique
much
called
lower,
super
so
hopping that was developed
it's not
a
really
couple
that
years
crazy
ago
yet.
now on an outside drifting bike, and to
I
my
would say
memory,
right now it's a
their
free world
definition
record for
is
anyone who wants to
it's
learn these strats.
repetitive
I'm
spin
definitely not
drift
gonna
hopping
learn them,
every
but
other frame,
if anyone
and you're
wants to,
building
that's
up, like,
well, not
horizontal
free.
momentum
You
as
still have
well.
to put in the
So
work
right
because
now,
like this
shows
shit is not.
73
It's not
kmh
automatic.
on the mushroom pads. If I had a detailed speedometer, you would see that the XYZ value is a lot higher than what the actual inside
Yeah,
drifting
the
bike flame runner would
the
be.
speedometer NMeade uses in this video makes this look kind of slow because it's like you see he's sideways and it's 73. He's like almost 120 in the air. If with the XYZ speedometer. He probably should have used that speedometer for this record.
So with that in mind, a natural thought may be, well, can this be used to break the entire game? My answer is right now, as it stands, probably not for human play. I think the only other track where this could have somewhat of a fighting chance is DK.
Honestly, I wouldn't say that there's no chance that this is going to break the game. I honestly think this might actually break the game in some new ways that we have no idea about. Never assume that these new freaking metas that come and go, like, that it's not gonna like change the game, because it actually will probably change the game. And once that happens, I think then we have to start thinking about like these kinds of metas that we have to like separate it, you know? Because I don't think majority of the community wants to play like this. If it ends up being like the meta in multiple tracks. But right now I would say it's whatever, like I guess the no glitch can be this, but yeah.
Summit for the mogul mounts on the downward slope. But apart from that, most other tracks aren't really conducive for that. Also, look
What
at
the
that.
fuck,
That
dude? He lost like 2
the
seconds
tracks
there.
aren't
At least
really
a second.
conducive for that. Also,
1,
look at that.
2.
That-
Yeah, he lost like 2 seconds.
If I was Flam Bam when I got this run, I would have been so frustrated.
Whatever.
I'm not gonna lie, man.
That run's gonna get
But
lowered.
Anyway, clearly this is new stuff developing here.
Yeah.
I definitely think long term a 134 to a low 135.
Yeah, you see, no one else has gotten anything with the new strats so far. So
Will happen 100%.
it hasn't really caught on, even though
I
it's
felt
free
it was only
tops for
appropriate
anyone.
to still include the inside drifting bike.
All right.
record
Well, this
from
run is good.
Alperen's
We'll
Ghost here,
I'll give my
which was
thoughts
the
about
world
this one.
record before the outside drifting bike developments. So I still regard this as one of the most craziest, very finely optimized world records in recent Mario Kart history.
Yeah.
When I saw this improvement when Alperen made it, I was very shocked and just so impressed because he already had like a mid to low 140.4, and that's already very strong as it is, but making that much of a jump from where this was at already was just so insane. And I really thought if Alperen didn't improve, this as well, stood for a couple of years by my estimation.
Yeah, my estimation would have been that if this run, like if this was still the meta, I think this run would stand. Like there's no way anyone's gonna get these kind of splits out of the blue and beat this run. Because this run is like less than 0.1 from the BKS by Alperen. So this run is very strong. Arguably one of the strongest right now, but obviously it didn't last that long.
Now, I put BKS as now untracked. On the BKS page,
I
they
think
used to track
BKS
it,
gave like
obviously,
0.1,
but now they
like a high
removed the
one
inside
probably.
drifting bike splits. I couldn't find them anywhere. Sorry about that, so I couldn't include them for this video here. But
I know
safe
it
to
was
say,
less than 0.1
100%,
difference
inside
at the
drifting
time
bike
at least.
will never have world record on the overall no
He does
category
everything so
ever
clean.
again.
He does that very clean.
Unless
The way he
something
does this
really
mushroom skip
busted
is
is
like
discovered with the
it's
frame
next
rider
level
itself.
shit.
Because,
Like
as mentioned,
for your
outside drifting
average
bike
viewer,
will
that
definitely
looks like
get
a
134
mushroom skip anyone can
or
get, but
135 one day,
he
and
preserves his
just
momentum in the air,
destroy this by a
and that
couple
saves
of
time.
but,
And it's
even
kind of
still,
like a
this is a
QM thing,
super
but
track time here.
Alperen knows how to do it
And
consistently, which is
I just
insane.
can't
That's like
believe
what
that,
GPM was telling me as
it's
well. But
16 years already of
that
Mario
was
Kart Wii, and we're still having just
it's really good.
super busted things happen to the game and weird intervals every
The way he
couple,
does
like,
that section is so
years,
clean.
sometimes monthly spurts at a time.
Yeah, quantized movement. It's like the game's way of giving like RNG. It's RNG essentially. Like sometimes you get random airtime, sometimes you don't, even though you do the exact same thing on a section on different two different attempts, because there is this thing called QM that randomizes the outcome. It's something humans can't control that well, but you know in TASes they can control that. So yeah, it's all over in this game. I'll probably mention it a few other times in this video, but
Things very, very interesting.
guys, if you have any
to see
questions,
and
feel free to ask in the
So,
chat.
I think long
Happy to
term,
answer you
we'll
guys.
see more people trying
But yeah,
to
look at
outside
those
drifting
splits.
bike
Like that is mid 5, mid 3, low 3. That's just like textbook.
mechanic for the overall no glitch category. But as it stands,
Really
though,
unfortunate
this is
that
still such a
this
very
run
strong
isn't
time here
world
for
record
the
anymore, but
inside drifting bike world record. But that is all.
still
for
impressive,
the
still
Captain
impressive.
Mushroom Gorge.
Always
I still
will be.
cannot believe this has happened in this past year for all.
They almost got all 140s. There's still a 141 would have been tops without the new strats.
Mushroom Gorge gameplay. Glitch category.
All right, we
This
get to the
was
glitches.
improved.
Yeah, I'm
Rice
just not gonna say anything
got
about
back
these.
the world record from Idris, and to my memory, it was 2 improvements. He had a
These categories are very
0.747,
underplayed
I
at world
believe,
record level, so
was the first improvement,
it's kind of
and a
you
week
know.
later, he had this improvement here. And as
I
you
think
can see,
Idris
the
had the
best known
previous
splits
record,
are
but now
pretty
Bryce
close
got
to
it
this
back,
time.
so
I believe.
I mean,
Bryce
Bryce
in
has
the
had
past
this
has
record
said
for
that he
quite
has
a bit,
5 or so
quite a
different,
few times, so
scenario best known splits, because depending on when your lap counts on the mountain, it makes the laps different. But even so, we are getting a little bit closer to where the limit may be for this. Not to say improvements can never
Harbor's
happen
still in the top
ever
10.
again, because that's silly, because things always get improved no matter what, right? But still, pretty crazy to see activity here once more. We shall see what happens
Right.
in the following.
TF goated.
Moving on now to Toad's Factory. Starting
Okay,
off on no
I haven't
trip.
been tracking the BKS on TF, but that is impressive that it's a 0.7 now. I remember this was maybe like a year or 2 years ago. I made like a BKS video where I included like the BKS at the time and made like a run out of it. So it would like transition from the lap 1 BKS to lap 2 BKS and lap 3 BKS. So you could kind of like see what a run would look like with the BKS. And I think those BKS gave 148.900. So from that video already, they have improved the BKS by over 0.1. So that's very impressive. Not like now 148 is very doable because of that. But back then when the BKS only gave like 148.9, that 148 didn't seem realistic yet. But now it seems realistic if anyone's willing to grind for it. But yeah, this run is really good. The first half of this run is insanely good.
In the past year. And will this stand in the next year? I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
it
same.
totally can. The primary player that I've been aware of that's been having sessions here in the past year has been Luke. And
Yeah,
Luke was the
Luke
former
got the BKS lap 3.
holder of this track for quite a while. I think it was a 149,
But even that was a while ago.
245 or something, and that record stood for quite a while for Toast Factory. And I don't think Barney, Connor, or Logan have played this in the past year or two. I could be wrong. At least in the past year.
I don't think
played it
ever
at
since
all.
Logan got this run, he didn't
But
really
still,
play
I
this
think
track. Like I think in the order where like Logan got the 0.1, he beat Luke in 2021. Then Connor got it for a brief moment. This is still Connor's PB, the run that he got the world record. Then Logan got a high 0, and now he got this low 0 with the new strats. But yeah, after this run, I don't think he's played TF. So yeah, I actually don't think anyone is playing TF currently, but
I think the best known splits here can still be improved by a little bit more. I think it is possible.
I would say out of these 3 splits, lap 3 is the most improvable. These first 2 laps are insanely good. Insanely good. I believe this lap 2 is with the new shroom strat, where you use the shroom like right here.
I don't think they've really played it at all. But still,
because like this saves a little bit of time if you
still be
get the
improved
chain
by a little
here
bit more.
in this
I think it is
section.
possible. So there is cushion here.
Maybe he'll get it. I don't see Luke getting, well, if I'm being honest, I don't see Luke getting a 148. I don't think he's at 148 level. I think Logan, Barney, and Connor, those 3 are at 148 level. But maybe, you know what? Maybe Luke is 148 level if he just plays enough, but he didn't really play it that much.
Don't know if it's
What he could have done.
Luke. Maybe it was Connor.
It's hard to say. Honestly, any of those 4 could get it.
But I'm pretty sure someone failed a 148 at the very last low jump.
That was Barney, yeah.
Completely devastating. I think when they corrected it,
148.9.
it was a high 148.9.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So with that in mind, I think there is.
Yeah, this is
a good
definitely one of
possibility
those
this
like
can be
matter of
improved
when
coming
kind of
year.
things, because no one's
This is
playing it,
already
so
an
of course it's
amazing
not going to
run
happen.
as
But
it
if
is.
someone plays it, one of
I've
those
watched
4
all
actually puts the
iterations of
time into
Toast
it, then
Factory, so to go from the
for sure.
humble
And that's going to be
lone
one of the
to
biggest
world records, the
no
old
glitch
ties
achievements in
of
this game.
Brendan and Stro way back in the day. Now we're on the horizon of a 148 here.
And also this track is like
Truly
one of the
nothing
best
short
tracks in
of
the game.
incredible. So
Period.
always a fun
So,
category to watch here.
Whoever has this
Incredible
record
time.
is the GOAT.
And we shall see. I think any player here can definitely get.
That top 10 is really cool though. Like we got a mid 3 as 10th, so that this top 10 looks very nice in my opinion. Obviously these players could improve their times a bit, but in general I would say this is a pretty nice top 10 to look at.
This a good stab and see who's the first.
Until
one
the
to
world
get a
record gets lower, then
148
I want to see
in
everyone
future.
else improve as well. But
Now,
for now it
moving
looks
on
fine.
to the Toads Factory shortcut box clip category.
All right, yeah, this is not getting beaten.
One,
No one's
improvement.
beating this.
But 2, what's interesting is the placements.
Logan's driving
after,
after the
record
2
have had a little
boxes
bit of a change
is
here. So,
very good.
Zilla is now second worldwide.
It's low 149
and
driving.
I believe, is it Mitch or Matthew that is third? Let's take a look here. Let's take a gander here.
So for these first 2
podcast
laps,
after
it
all.
doesn't even matter like
It is
how you
Mitch.
drive
That's why I'm
until you
giving
land
that
from the
very
second
good.
box clip,
So
lap
Mitch
2.
has a
So this first
0.819,
half doesn't matter. So
and
he's
Zilla
just
has the
pretending
0.6
to
here.
I don't even know.
So
We'll see how he slows down here. He's
He's
not even wheeling.
Has had such a vice grip on this category for a very long
Yeah,
time.
you want to get at
and
least a
he
0.3
has
lap
had
1 if I'm not
interval
mistaken. Maybe a
improvements,
0.4 can still do
throughout
it, but he
the
got a
past couple
0.0, so he
years.
still has to kind of
I think
lose
he
some
even had
time.
like a higher to mid 144 for a
So
while.
he goes for
and then
this.
he has
The
some
way
decent
Logan does this
like
glitch is
0.1,
lap 2 is insane. Like he
he
gets the
cuts
most perfect setup,
for a
most
while,
perfect
and then
landing.
he has some, these intermittent like
It's like
a higher
normally
to mid
when
144
you
for a
do this
while.
glitch,
Then
lap
he has
1, you're kind of aiming
intermittent
to like pass through about here, you know, and then you hit the red conveyor and, you know, go for it lap 2. But lap 2 you have to go for this crazy one where you're like way more to the right, and it's very hard. You need the perfect shroom timing, like literally almost perfect shroom timing just to make over this. Like you don't get much higher than this, and then that allows you to land much further to the right so you don't hit this red, because from this point onward it's literally just like good driving till the end, because every run in the top 10 that goes for lap 2 box clip is going to be tied with Logan. Even the Zilla run that it's comparing to, it's literally tied. So just enjoy this no glitch driving from here on out.
Every once in a while to his current 0.1 here. For those that have never watched this before,
It's very impressive.
what's really impressive is they're doing a box clip,
Very good
clip,
shroomless.
but it's off a moving target, which is super insane.
That's a pretty good low. It's not the lowest you can get, but it's pretty good. Gets a drop there, it's whatever. Very nice first turn.
Just for that
Gets a half, very fast. Double hop.
You're pretty much pace locked until
Nice
the
landing.
lap 2, and once you land an awesome
Gets a chain.
lap 2, you race as fast as possible to the finish
Good
line.
double MT.
That's why you may see players
Good turn.
just waste time.
A little bit
on
wide
lap
there,
1
but
to
it's
the crate
fine.
lap 2,
Didn't lose
because
much.
If you're simply too fast,
Let's see the
you have to
shroomless.
wait for the crate to
He gets a
be
kind of a
in,
weird landing, but that's a very
alignment.
nice
You get what I'm
shroomless
saying?
still.
So,
Little bit of a
wait for the
little
crate
bit
to
of
be
a
in, alignment.
micro bounce
You
at
get
the
what I'm
landing,
saying?
but
So
low's kind of
it's
high though.
unfortunate
Yeah,
where-
I think he can get a 0.0, but that's it. That's literally the max. You see a BKS total, a low 8, high 8, high 0, so yeah, he can probably get this, but that's
even
it.
pace slots instead of going
And
as
all
fast
of that,
as possible, all
all
three
of that
laps.
is because of the lap 3. Like this lap 3 can be a low 4, maybe a 0.3 if everything is literally perfect. This lap 2 also kind of matters because of the ending when you land from the box clip, but I would say his lap 2 split, or this combination of these two splits is BK, like best known pace, and it is very good best known pace. Lap 3 could be fast. This beats my BK's lap 3 with the or maybe it ties. I might beat it by a few milliseconds, so I can tell this can be better, but it's a lot to ask, especially when you have to do 2 box clips and you only get one chance of driving well lap 3. So all of that combined, this run is very impressive, and the top 10 speaks for itself. Like you guys can see the difference here. It's not even close.
For 3, but again, with new activity here,
I was very happy to
closer,
get the 2 for 3 on this
maybe
track.
there could be
It's
a
not top
close
10 anymore. It
contender
wasn't
following
in the
year.
last video either, but
We
I
shall
was
see.
just happy to get it.
Gonna sip
I'm not
some
gonna come back
coffee
to that
here.
because it's just not like what
Hits the spot.
I could maybe
Alright,
grind for
so,
second, but doesn't really mean
Mary
anything
circuit,
to me.
no
So.
glitch. We have Guy here.
All right,
And this is still such an
this run is
awesome
still
record.
good. It's still fun to
remember
watch this
watching
run.
this
Of course, it has
and
its
just
mistakes,
being
but what
so
can you
happy
really
for
expect
Guy.
from a run from
He worked
2021?
so hard for this type of time
where
for so
you have to
long.
get 3 for 3
And
King
this is
Alex?
the
That
first
still
3 for
hasn't
3
been done.
King Alex ramp world record.
I don't think
those
anyone
that
in Worldwide
haven't
Tops
watched
gets 3
before.
for 3.
Basically, a King
So.
Alex ramp is when you get the very top part.
But
of
yeah,
the
Casey
ramp
could beat
here,
this if he just
and
gets
you
it.
get, like, the
If he
instant
just gets a good
airtime
run.
down into
Not even 3 for
off-road.
3, just running
apart
well.
from that, there is a strategy. I believe it is called a fast ramp, where you do a
That lap
spin
2 King Alex
drifting
was really
trick,
smooth.
from the
I think lap
base,
3 his King Alex was a
and then
little
you
bit
trick
slower,
off
but
it, and you land
it was
back
still
directly
faster
onto the
than
road.
like a fast ramp.
But
So
what they're doing here, 1 is way faster.
Let's see the chains
2,
here.
way harder. And
Gets a
3
half.
is
I
not
think this is a
really
chain.
consistent to my memory.
Yep.
With that in mind, Casey has been with this 0.4 for quite a while now.
Yeah.
So as
It's
far
like
as what
Guy
this
and Casey
continue to
got those
stand,
times, and then
this
no one
could
has really
100%
played
go
this.
on another year or years
to
plural
world record
without being
level.
defeated.
Or I guess Susio has,
Guy stepped
but
away from the game,
his time is still very
hasn't been playing
far.
anymore. But I
I think
if
he kind of
Casey
gave
were to
up
give this a
early
giant
on
stab
that.
again,
Like he should
I think
just
he
come
could
back to
definitely
this
make
and get the
push
record.
to, a 119. Also knowing the best known splits I'm listing here.
Still a good run.
I believe.
I think we
is
can still all agree that that's a
2-0-1,
goated run, regardless of the mistakes that it has.
I believe no 2-1-0.
And for the
I think
time,
was
it's
the stream
also very
strategy.
goated.
And those best known splits are ever so slightly.
For this top 10, this year's goal, I would want to see all 120s in this top 10. We have had this 10th place time be so shit for so long, and I really just want to see everyone get a 120. I would say even this 120.949 isn't acceptable for 10th anymore. Like, this should be better. It should be like 0.8s and faster. Because we have a lot of good players in this track, driving-wise. I guess we don't have enough players to grind the ramp to the King Alex level. We don't have enough of those, but yeah.
Faster than what they did in this current record here.
Not a good top 10.
But still, such a crazy time as it is already.
People have
for that
gotten closer
category
to
of
Guy.
Mario.
Because that top 10 looked way worse
Now,
like 2 years ago.
This was really cool. Check this out. I
Yeah.
think Mario Circuit
This is
glitch
cool, but it's
history
still
has had,
it's a bad record. Like,
trillion
this needs to
glitch
be improved.
entry strategies, just like Coconut Mall.
I want K to get
It's
this back.
absolutely crazy. So, to my memory, this was
What's the point of double hop before boost panel, by the way? I never understood. Well, that's just... It's kind of like when you land after the conveyor, you just do a single hop and start the drift. You're losing a lot of time there. If you do a double hop and the double hop is like perfectly done, like the second hop is... I don't know if it's frame perfect, but at least like very precise hop. Then you don't go immediately to 84. You kind of stay at the 90 kmh range for that second hop, and then once that second hop ends, then you can start the MT, release the MT and charge it. Very minor time save, doesn't save that much. If you get a perfect single hop from the conveyor on TF, it's still very fast, but if you mistime it, then doing the double hop can save your it can still save your speed, you know, so you don't lose much. So it's always worth going for, but it makes the MT charge harder, so that's why I don't go for it. But for world record level, it's necessary for sure.
Clip off of a tree on this side, hit the star, get shot down.
Yeah, he gets bad glitches here. I've seen K in calls getting like paces that are ahead of this, and he's getting them a lot. So I think K can get this any day. He just needs that one run.
A good ways off the best known
BKS 144.6, yeah. Second and a half difference.
This will definitely be improved in the future.
Let's see this top 10 though, because I remember this top 10 pretty well.
I think
it's about the same from last year. It's literally the exact same. Unless I'm mistaken, but yeah, this top 10 looks the exact same to me.
When all these players try that new entry, this is going to be changing pretty rapidly, I think, for a top 10. So
yeah,
we shall see.
Maybe.
Moving on. This
good goated record coming
really
up.
Cool surprise in the past year. So I didn't think that Breakson's time was going to go down during this year. And then Logan made a humongous push during this year and successfully closed out getting a world record here on the no-glitch category at Coconut Mall, which is really cool. I believe Logan has...
I love the way he does that. So clean.
I think Ace...
He lost time there, but...
And maybe Breakson or Logan has the lap 3 best on split.
Everything after lap 2 is so good
with that in mind,
in this run.
I think the 154 will happen one day. I believe in the past, Breakson has said that, you know, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
That's a nice stick. You see how he like just saves time there. Like the way Breakson did those, like I think Breakson probably got a half and no stick, but just because Logan gets a chain and a stick, he just gets ahead.
I said that, you know, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of
like
when.
what the yeah, that's just crazy. Like those kinds of time saves are gonna matter now. But those are very hard.
His answer was it shouldn't be a problem. So with that in
Really
mind,
good turn.
this is definitely one of the most technique-heavy tracks.
Very
in the
nice
game.
infizz. The
There's so
second
much
one was
happening at one time
almost perfect.
where
First
there's a
one
little
wasn't, but
scrape before
was
the
still
first
very
banister
fast.
each
Let's see
lap.
this one.
It's kind of your breather.
That was pretty
you know?
good.
Because apart from
Could have been
that,
lower, but that
this
was still very
strategy here,
fast.
I still
Gets that
love
strat.
You're barely
Apparently that
skimming
strat's
the
pretty
zipper
easy, but
as the car is going back.
to me it's very
And
impressive.
I think
Low
at
4 lap 2,
maximum,
good.
that saves maybe
Okay, there he gets a
80
drop. That
milliseconds
is
as
very
opposed to not
unfortunate.
going for it. To my memory, that's the figure
So
that
Brixton
Alf
gets
told me
ahead.
past, I'm pretty sure. But
Let's see
yes,
this.
long term, this will definitely hit the 154.
Okay, that was kind of slow.
Just a matter of when. Not only Logan, I think Brixton played this in the past year. And
Pretty
I think
fast.
also Ace has played this in the
Okay, does that
Logan,
strat actually
I
save?
think Brixton played this in the past year.
I think Brixton
And
just
I
got a
think
bad
also
infi,
Ace has
so it's
played this
about
in
the same
past year.
speed.
But also, apart from the top
Maybe it's
three,
the
there's
alignment
been a
Logan
ton
gets
of
there that he
people that
likes.
have gotten very good here as well. Nugget, I
Nice.
believe, is
He delayed
fourth.
that trick more, so
Ton of people that have gotten
saved
very
time
good
there.
here as well. Nugget, I believe, is fourth, and I think Nugget can possibly contend too. Nugget has been really.
I wonder how they're
I
gonna
think
deal with that
Nugget
car
can
though.
possibly contend too. Nugget has.
Actually, I don't think that's gonna be a problem, is it?
been-
I think a 154 is still achievable with that car there. I think it's some other car that lap 2 or something that's gonna be an issue with a fast pace. But
Been really entertaining other tracks recently, and he's second
Yeah.
worldwide on BCW Nugget. We'll get to that later on.
I will say 154 will happen at some point. It's not gonna happen next year, but it's gonna happen someday.
But now the whole worldwide top 10 is finally all filled with 155s. It took forever. I believe Ace's first 155 world record here was 2017 or 2018, around that time. So it's taken almost, I think, at least.
Brixton can get it back. I think Ace can get close. Maybe world recordable. Nugget, kind of a wild card to be honest. He got a 0.5. Not sure how much time he spent on this. But knowing Nugget, he could probably get up to world record level in this track. Also Alpern, pretty impressive 0.5. Justin's 0.6 is very old. Sosa's improved. Susia got a 0.7. Yeah.
6 years.
Definitely a lot of good
Entire
players in this
worldwide
track,
top 10 in the
although I don't think all of them
155,
are world
absolutely
recordable.
crazy,
Like,
truly.
they don't have world record skill. But
Moving on, this was another insane development. So if you've never
I would say
seen
Brixton's
this,
going to get that record back for
another
sure if Logan doesn't go
busted
for it. Logan just
entry
went for it because he
has
wanted to
been
get that
discovered
unique
here. I
track.
don't think you can get much faster
Understandable.
than this, as opposed to like just respawning in the parking lot, you know. But yeah. So initially,
Brixton has the best
Brixton
driving on
did
this track, so I think he'll
with,
just keep this
Baby
record for
Daisy
now.
And Bullet Bike to my memory, and then Beanzard got his first world record on this track, new entry, and first Birdo world record ever for the game. So that's massive props there. And then Brixton came back
Nice.
and pushed it down quite a bit further. I think still it'll hit the 23 one day. Just a matter of when people are going to try and grind for it more. But at least at this point, the entire top 10 has adapted the new entry for it. So we shall see what happens there in the
Alright.
future.
DKS, let's go.
Moving on, another improvement is on DK Summit. But it's been 2 improvements. So, Blake had WR,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe, let's take a gander here, shall we, folks? It
Nice wheelie miss.
was. Give me a second.
Alright, he
here,
gets 4
fellas, as you
moguls.
watch
Not the
top
fastest,
tier
but still
gameplay
pretty good.
On your monitors, tablets, smartphones.
Not an 84, but okay, well, he
January
misses that.
26th of this year.
Yeah, that section probably lost
Connor
0.2.
reclaims the world record for the first time
Kind of a
since
shitty
January
trick at the
2020.
end as well.
That was so hype when he got it back.
Everything after this point, though, is
I've been
pretty
rooting for
good.
Connor
Like,
to
lap 1 was
give
kind of a
Blake
choke,
battle
but
here
everything after
for
that
quite some
is
time.
pretty much
And he
textbook what
eventually
you
did.
want to get in a run like
And
this.
then Blake
in a
was
track like
very
this as well.
steady, very consistent. and
Those could
very
be lower.
persistent almost
Nice
his whole year on
fence
his
clip. We
streams,
always want to see
trying
that.
to
He
get
gets
the world record
5
back.
moguls.
And after slaving away for so long, Blake did
Gets
close
a
out,
very nice
getting it
cut.
back,
I don't think
later
that
on
was
this
not an
year.
84, but it was still
So,
very.
yeah, the classic
No idea
thing
what
with
he's
DK
doing there,
Summit
but
is this is still
we probably didn't
such-
lose that much.
Such a difficult time trial.
Mid
to
7
pull
lap
off,
2, not bad, not
especially
bad.
for the Jimmy cut. the double chasm cut.
You can
that
save
they're
0.2
doing
on
here.
that lap though.
So difficult to do. There's a reason why
This
this
lap
was
3 is
starting
very
to be
good
used in
though.
world
This is
records literally, I
almost
think,
perfect.
over 10 years ago, but still, the best known split discrepancy, the current WR is still so far away.
1, 2, 3,
because this
4.
is absolutely one of the
Yeah.
hardest tracks by far.
Is this an 84?
to
Nope.
close out
Alright, well,
a time
hey.
trial at this level here. in
He
particular.
played this lap
But,
3 very well, so he deserves
yeah,
this
Connor's
record for sure.
record unfortunately missed a part of the horizontal zipper, lap 3.
Nice 0.4.
So I think when corrected, it was like a 144.2 or something like
Yeah,
that.
oh yeah, that's
Pretty sure.
another thing. Connor's run, this 0.5, this would have been a crazy run. Maybe it would have actually made Blake not play this track after. I don't know. Maybe Blake always is going to be that guy who's going to play this track. But that run, if Connor got that run without that mistake at the end, I don't know.
But in any event, I think more.
I think someone else would
both
have probably
won a
gotten
143
close to
one day down the line.
Connor. But currently Blake has it. Connor's second. Connor could definitely get it back if he plays it. Alperen, Julian getting closer, but yeah, they just have to play more. That's the only
So,
way.
we
Right
shall
now, I
see.
wouldn't.
Other players
I
are
wouldn't say they
also
can
finally
get world
getting
record,
a
but
bit
you know they
closer.
can get close. I would say at
Connor and
least
Blake. Shout out
world
to
record
Julian,
able
Alperen, and Flair
run
for most recently getting their times
can
within
happen.
the past year overall. I'm pretty sure. Warriors gold mine no glitch. We have Logan's record here, and Logan and Luke are still the only two that have a 149
BKS gives
here,
666.
and this can definitely be improved.
I don't know
some
how
more.
accurate BKSs are here because
Luke has
of the
failed some
paces,
world
pace
records
locks.
here in the past year, including right at the very end at the dip skip. The
both of these
detach
runs look
up
very
over here,
clean. I would say
on
the
lap
only
3.
mistake Luke does is the
I
ending
think
of
it was
the
like a mid
lap 3 MT, but
149.8
before the
pace,
detach. But
I'm pretty sure.
everything else
So with
looks
that
pretty
in mind,
nice.
I think
This
definitely
run
an
is
improvement will
this
come during
track
this
is
year.
mostly good driving,
I
and then
think
obviously
multiple
pulling off these
people can
strats.
still
But
be the one to still push us down further.
this is a good track
I'm
to
still waiting for
watch
the day
at a
that
high
Vincent
level.
comes back here as well to try to reclaim this.
That was a nice light
because
trick.
Vincent
You guys
has
see
some
how
really
Logan
good-
delayed that trick right there?
Comes back here as well to try to reclaim this. Because Vincent has some
Luke did a
really
side
good
trick,
splits
but
that he set
same
and
speed.
paces when
There
this
he
was
lost a
all
bit.
new
Luke,
developments a couple
Logan
of years
gained.
ago for like a 149 pace. Before the first 149s were hit. And I think Casey got very high on these tops as well, and a couple others now. So a lot of good talent here on this
Nice.
track that could still push it down further. And I just can't believe it, man. It's gonna
Oh,
be I
let's see
think
this lap
3
3.
years. I think it was beginning of 2022, or was it 2021? My memory is fleeting me. Let's take a gander here, fellas. How long
2022
has it been?
January,
Yes.
almost 3 years ago. New strats.
January 2022 is when multiple things were starting to change on Goldmine.
That
Where
was
the
a
whole
weird
track
lap 3
when
wall glitch, but
multiple things were starting
he
to
saved
change
it there.
on Goldmine, where
That's
the
still
whole
a-
track was completely
still a good.
revolutionized.
But yeah,
And I
this is
still
like
can't
the
believe how
this
awesome
is the
that
shitty part of this track,
whole
lap
track
3.
was
If you're at a really good pace, you have to avoid this cart and also charge the MT somewhat fast. Luke charged the MT better than Logan here, but Luke loses speed because he wheelie turns in a wheelie. So he just loses time, and you'll see how Logan gains it
completely
back here,
revolutionized.
even though Logan did that
And
MT
I
worse.
still can't believe how awesome
Yep.
everything has been.
And then the
for
ending,
Goldmine
Logan just
developments.
pulls ahead.
So at this point, I think in the future, this
Yeah,
year,
that last turn was kind
I
of
think this
bad,
can
but
and will go down. Can be
yeah,
by
this
several
will
people.
go
We shall
down.
see who's gonna be
I don't
the
know if
person,
Logan's willing
lead
to
the
grind
charge
it,
here.
but I think Luke can get
I
it back.
think beyond
And
a
that's
mid to low 0.8,
you get a 0.8, yeah.
it's gonna be very difficult because of the mine cart lap 3.
Mm-hmm.
The pace becomes really
0.4 is worldwide tops. This worldwide tops could get better. This is kind of like TF, but a little bit worse because of the. I mean, there's more strats to worry about compared to TF. TF is just kind of running fast, getting the semi-hard, fast strats on it. But this track has strats that are they're way harder to get perfect than on TF. So it's understandable that this has such a big like gap difference in the times, but
tricky around that point.
I also don't think
So,
many people play
we shall
this
see
category
what we,
anymore. Like it kind
see
of got
happen here in the future.
everyone played it in
Now,
2022,
Goldmine glitch
but
category.
after that, it
This
just
has
kind of,
remained
it was only
unimproved the past
individual
year.
players that played it,
Pollo made his
like Loki,
magnificent return, gained the world record exactly 13 years later after his
This run
first
has
world
pretty
record.
good MT
Back in
releases.
2009, the very first person to land
He does the
specifically
driving
3
pretty
for 3
well. It's
pipe
probably
bounces here.
mostly this glitch
And
that matters, but honestly, all of these parts
with
are
that in
very
mind,
clean.
I think
Like
this
that
can
was
still
probably
stand
like
for another year.
barely lap count right there, the way he did this.
With that
Like he probably barely just hit the zone. I don't know where it is,
I think
but
this
it
can
looks
still stand
very
for another year.
sus. Like how close he
I don't
was
think
to not
McLaren
lap
really
counting
plays
that.
anymore. And I don't think Ray
How
has
early he
really
does
tried
this
for a
turnaround.
while. I think I've seen Ray being
You would see like OG players
don't
like
think
from
Ray
like 2017 to what after, they would like
really
try and
tried this for
aim for this spot to do this strat, but they were doing it here. Because I think it might literally be like right here where it lap counts the shadow, maybe.
a while.
Actually, no, it's probably way after. Yeah, that's definitely way
I've
after
seen
it,
Ray
but
being active on
I
other
don't know.
glitch and shortcut categories in the game.
It's a good run.
So
Second
I
place
don't
is pretty
know
close
if he's
to
kind of
Ray.
laid his controller down here for a little while.
Respect
for
to
this
Pollo
category.
because he's an OG, so.
There's still more room to squeeze out here, but at this point, I think this is really difficult to optimize from here.
Yeah,
but
for sure. Logan has a 0.7. I think Logan was experimenting with the strats where you like kind of clip, you like do the same, you do the same movement.
And I don't think
This
Ray
where you
has
hit
really
this
tried this for a
wall and you
while.
do that spin
think
drift, you know, thing.
Seen Ray
You can
being,
do that same exact thing with the pole
active
here
on
for
other
the next
glitch and
laps.
shortcut.
So instead of like going here and slowing down and going for it, you hit this part and you do the hop spin drift and it aligns you perfectly. Or not perfectly, but it's a really fast setup for the next lap. That's like what the BKS give. That's why the BKS are this fast compared to record. But
shortcut categories.
it's
in
only
the
like a
game.
maybe a 0.1
So
save
I don't
at
know
most.
If he's kind of laid his controller down.
Actually,
here
not
for
even
a
that
little while
much.
for this
Probably,
category.
probably like
Um,
less than
There's still more
0.1. But
room to squeeze out here, but at this point, I think this is really difficult to optimize from here. But so multiple people can possibly toss this up here in the future. We shall see. But always cool to see how optimized the pipe bounces are now on Gold Mine Glitch. Moving on.
Right.
Daisy Circuit. This also has
really good. This
improvements
record is very well
past year.
driven, considering he
So,
only gets
I wanna
Luke gets
say
2 out of 3 stair dives here,
There may have been more than
so he
one
loses to
improvement.
Logan
I don't
with the
think this was a
strats,
solid
but
jump
he
in one shot. Let's take a look here as I
he
get
drives
some
this
top.
pretty well. Actually, I don't even know, did Logan get in this run? I don't think Logan got 3 for 3
Let's take a look here.
based on that first
Improvement?
stair dive. Like,
I don't think this was a solid jump. In
do you?
one
Okay,
shot.
is that
Let's
what
take a
Luke
look
did?
here as I
Also
get
not a
some
stair.
top.
I don't even know. I think Luke got a stair dive. Logan didn't,
Let's see.
but
Okay.
the way Luke did that beginning kind of was kind of
Get
slow
some
though.
top
Like this
down.
was kind of slow because he didn't get the airtime from the landing after the.
Okay. First off, Logan improved his own record to this comparison here to 372.
Mm-hmm.
And to my memory, that was the first 3 for 3 stair dive run ever for a DC.
I don't know, was
world
that a
record.
3 for 3? Maybe the first one is a stair
then
dive,
Luke
but it was
reclaimed the world
slower.
record
Like
from
that's
Logan
more what you want to
this
get.
current run here. And this current run is awesome. It has 2 for 3 dives. It's very strongly driven. Both these guys have very strong driving for both their times here. I think both of these players can definitely get
Every
a
turn is almost perfect.
128.1 with 3 for
That's
3
what's so hard
dives.
about this track, getting every
I
turn
think,
perfect.
both of
And
them
not
have
getting a
their
perfect
own
turn means you lose a
personal
lot of
best
time because
splits
you're
to
not
almost
in a
equate
you're not in a proper
127.
alignment for the next turn. So
with that in mind,
okay, there he misses
well,
it. Yeah,
what
yeah,
ends
yeah.
up happening
Okay,
humanly, I
that
mean,
definitely wasn't
I
a
would
stair
think
dive,
so
but
at one point down the
still
line.
keeping it up. And I think
I
Logan,
don't
yeah,
think
Logan
there's
loses
any
time
more
there, so looks ahead again.
unused strategies here.
We'll see the splits.
I really don't think so at this point. It's just a matter of getting all 3 stair dives. Super hard thing to do, but it's crazy how much both Logan and Luke has really pushed the actual just driving standard.
This pace is, it's pretty good. That's a good lap 2. I don't know about that lap 1. I think a 0.4 lap 1 is pretty good, but I think he can get lower. His lap 2 can also be lowered, as you can see, like the BKS point, like you can get a 0.2 lap 2. But that would mean you have to get everything perfect. Also, this lap 3 only lost this was 0.5 because of the no stair dive, but it was still very well driven lap 3.
Alone, apart from stair dives.
Yeah, this run had the chance to be like a 0.1, I would say.
Obviously, but the true crispness of the driving here is just really impressive.
I don't think a
both of them.
I don't think a 127 is gonna happen.
Shows it.
I think it's 0.0. That's it.
Yeah, we shall see.
It's kind of the
what
same
this
as
track
TF.
delivers.
You know, the BKS gave a 0.9, but the BKS have to be a mid 8 in order for it to be realistic to get a 128, 127.
Within the coming.
So that's my stance on
If you
that
guys
for now.
like these videos, definitely
With
get
these
subscribed
strats.
here. Throw the video a thumbs up.
All right,
Scroll the
Luke's
channel
improvement
and
on this
push up the
track.
video
Logan
more.
already had a
Thank you
0.0,
in
but
advance.
Luke got it
Okay.
back.
No glitch. This has had improvement in the past year, and Luke reclaimed the world record from Logan here during the past year, and getting very close now to the first 216. Just the
Yeah.
fact that we're even contemplating a 216.
216 is insane.
Oh my god! Like, I'm telling you guys, like, I've watched all the developments from the
I don't even
beginning,
have sub 2. Like, I don't even have a 219 yet.
and
To be fair, I only
This-
played this track like
track
1
is
or 2
in
days.
such a
But
different place than it was when in the very beginning.
I can like straight up
There's
say
been-
yes, BKS are so much better than the record, but getting everything in one run is it's impossible. You can't get everything in one run. The QM is just gonna throw you off, get you bad. The strats are not gonna be perfect. Everything. So
Multiple shroom
that would
strat
require so
changes,
much grinding, and it's not
shroomless
realistic.
strategy
So,
changes more than one. 'Cause now
but
you
I
have
would
way
still
more
see maybe a
options versus the older
216.7.
one. New pipe driving
That's like
strategies,
my-
etc.
My guess on like the
With that
limit
in
of this track for these strats.
This is always one of the coolest records I think to watch as well.
Because I
for
think this run
category
has
in general,
mistakes, but
because this has gone through so many iterations, and it's just really
Yeah.
cool to know like
yeah, new
where something
strats.
started, right?
Yeah, I love
And
that
what it
that
took to
strat.
get
That's
to this
so
current time now,
so nice.
right? So with that in mind, I think 1,000,000% this sees the first 216 next
Those
year.
zappers are annoying.
I'll say even more than that. I'll say a 218.8.
The way he saved that was
be
impressive. Like,
feeling
maybe that looked really
a
bad,
two-
but I have respect for that save. First of all, his alignment going into this next lap is bad. He has to wheelie turn to the left here, so he doesn't hit that wall ahead.
I'll say
Just a like few taps, and he barely doesn't hit it. Gets a chain, and then
a 218.
he does a right there. He like has to realign, although he realigns like
I'll
very
say-
late, so he doesn't actually lose that much here.
a 218.
And then he delays that trick as much as he can. So he doesn't get the perfect low there, but he delays the trick, so he gets somewhat of a decent trick still. And the landing's good. And yes, that was a side trick, but that's just
feeling
nunchuck
someone's
things.
gonna
You can't
get a
really
super
do much
busted
about
time
that.
on this track.
Good save. You see
And
Logan. Well, now he
as I've
caught
been
up,
saying
but
a
he
lot,
was still off
a lot
screening
of
Logan
players can
after all that.
Get that
So,
type of time. I want to focus on
but this
that
lap
point
3
for a
he did
second,
lose a bit.
because I want to like highlight the player base, because
Let's see the comeback though.
I'm
Might have
very
been Logan
impressed
just
these
failing the
days
ending. I don't know.
with how the collective skill level and performance of the entire top echelon has really increased collectively.
I think he just gets a better ending. He
Where
just gets a better Mander, and
For quite a while,
that's
it
that.
would just be one or two main players that are
Oh
getting
yeah.
most of the defeats and records, but now there's a ton of talent that have gotten extremely good at the game.
Well played. That
can
ending was
give
good.
The top players a run for their money here.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I think
216 definitely happening,
America
but
Re Time Trial, the scene collectively, is in a really good spot.
we're almost at all 117s now. Yeah. The top 10 is catching up. It's not as crazy seeing these times now though because of the strats, but just remembering when Justin, Luke, they were the only ones with a 217, and now there's this many 217s, means the track has improved. But I don't know. I kind of want to see a mid 217 top 10. I think that would be realistic right now. So
And And it makes things really interesting when more players can contend.
Jungwoo can still catch up.
Really
I think
exciting.
Jungwoo can still get record. Casey, I don't know. He should play more
We shall
to
see
have realistic chance to get record. But Casey is Casey. I think Casey can always get the record on a lot of the tracks he plays.
Glitch category. This remains unimproved in the past year. And as you can see by the best on splits,
the only thing I know about this run that it has a crazy lap 3. The no glitch driving lap 3 is very impressive. But outside of that, the glitch and all the other things, I have no idea. So
doing streamless spear driving here is just so annoying. Like using this clunky.
I'm actually not sure if he still plays. I think he plays online, but I might be wrong if he still plays Casey. I don't think he does play because he hasn't really improved.
More players frequently trying.
No clue.
If this was possible with the Flame Runner, because it make the no glitch driving way easier for sure. But in any event, if you guys have never seen this before, this is completely
you could save like up to point. You could save up to like almost a second per lap if you had Flame Runner doing this glitch.
I still cannot believe.
I don't know why Flame couldn't make that though.
That
I think someone just needs to try that. Just make sure that it's possible, and then we just fucking get a better time here. Alright, let's see this lap 3. I'll go back a little bit and just comment on everything, because it was a good lap.
And I cannot believe how just
rehops there.
Happened in our timeline.
Perfect alignment, gets a little bit of too high there, gets a good landing with no insta-wheel, it's fine. It's a good landing there, gets the slip.
Oh, man.
Pretty fast MT.
So exciting.
I would say he did that turn pretty well. Gets a nice low there. That's like one of the spots where you can actually lose so much time. If you don't get this hop right, either you just don't get a trick, you just hop over it, or you hop too early and you get a massive airtime. So getting this is actually kind of hard, especially with this vehicle.
Because it may not look like it, but it's just a very thin seam in the wall you're riding on, and any minor little analog movement, right? And you're
that was a
off
good turn.
track. So just so many small things that
I don't think he needed to rehop there, but I guess it's whatever. Like it's a good pace, so why? Actually, yeah, he did have to.
Would just take too long to possibly word
nice landing. This ending is
replay for a time.
It's a goated ending.
Say,
goated last turn.
How impressive all these times are. Gotta give all the players their proper
good lap 3.
Credits for all
I don't know about lap 2, lap 1,
people
but
have their own speedrunning endeavor motivations.
K can get this back.
100%.
I believe in K. I think he has BKSs here, so
all the players are doing their times.
No one else is even close compared to those two. But
now, my favorite track.
All right, let's see this shit.
Freeway, no glitch. This remains unimproved in the past year.
And
one of the most interesting developments in the past year.
I still don't see Flair getting world record. He's close, but
that second place time, done by Flair, incredible player. He has the Rainbow Road no glitch world record. Shout out to Flair. And Flair has been the one to lead the charge, and he broke the barrier. Before Flair, Demon has had.
What do you mean broke the barrier?
A 2.5 second lead over second place on a no glitch world record track time here. Cannot emphasize that point enough. That is not normal, okay?
Yeah, well, that's not normal, but you have to understand, this is kind of in a similar spot to MG, where you have this meta that everyone can go for, but no one really, there are a few tracks in this game where no glitch is at this limbo where there's like 1 or 2 players going for something that is obviously faster, but it's very hard to pull off and save time on. So, I don't find it like surprising that Demon had this lead for so long. Now the others are catching up. It's just normal, but
gap The gap to 10
Obviously, all
at one
respect to
point, I think,
Demon
was
for
over
being
3
the
seconds,
GOAT.
I believe.
And still,
Actually,
he's still having the
almost 4
record
seconds,
here.
so almost a 2:17. Right when this record was first set. Since then, the top 10 has improved a little bit. 10th is
If this
2:16.
strat didn't exist, the top 10 would be like any other no glitch track, 100%. Like there's no doubt about that.
6 now, I believe, but still, not normal on a no glitch category, folks. Okay.
Yeah. It's like kind of debatable whether or not this should be no glitch because of this strat. Like, obviously it's not intended. Like,
10th is 2:16.6 now, I believe.
it's not a
But
glitch
still,
though. It's not a
not
unrestricted
normal on a
category.
no-glitch
'Cause
category, folks,
there's the
okay?
actual glitch, but you know, I wouldn't mind having like a 3 category track. This being 3 categories, you know. Because it is a very important that turn, that spiral that they skipped, like that is still an important part of the track, kind of like you know, grumble. So I don't really see why not have 3 categories. I think the community just doesn't want to do that to every track, but especially at this late in the game. But
With that in mind,
it's not a.
will this stand for the next year?
I wouldn't see it
Maybe it
impossible
will.
to do that.
I think if anyone has a shot to do it, I think Flair can be the man in charge here to try and.
Because I would
get
also
Demon to
like
run
seeing
for his
like
money.
this track being pushed to the
As
limit
always,
driving
Demon
wise.
can
Like
come back
this
on his
this
own to
current
play,
run doesn't show the
but
limits
my
of this
overall
track driving
stance
wise.
is I think
And it really does suck because of
this
that
will
strat. That
be
strat
improved.
makes this track kind
That's
of
my
wonky, you
prediction.
know?
because
The way Demon plays this track
Demon
with all these
tied-
nerves is
yes,
still
he
impressive.
tied the no turn skip record during this year.
Mhm.
So Demon has been doing the no glitch driving.
I haven't
He's
seen that run,
fresh
actually.
And ready to go, folks. So with that in mind,
There he lost a bit, and I believe that
I think what will
section he
make
lost
Demon
like
play
0.3,
this,
0.2. He
sooner
could have had
on
it
his
to
own
12
is
with
if
this
Flair
run, but
starts up attempts again.
still a
Because
good,
Demon has
still
been
well driven all
undefeated
around.
for over
No
8
complaints
years,
there.
almost 9 years now. His collective reign is over 10 years on this category, and overall for Maple Treeway collectively. So Demon wants to keep that close to the vest here, right? So
Victor's run is no turn skip, so I would want to see this like run being improved. I'd like to see what it would, how much down could it go.
I think when Flair starts playing again, I think Demon will be provoked to play in this category here. But the Demon conversation does not end here, because this glitch category was improved.
Yeah, I think NMeade just mentioned that Demon tied that run with those strats. That's what he mentioned earlier. So Demon, they're tied.
And Demon successfully regains the glitch world record category.
One sec.
So Demon once more is the dual world record holder on Maple Treeway. And Demon has been hard at work for quite a while now to try and regain and get back this category through all the strategy iterations of Maple Treeway.
Not much to comment about this run. There are so many
And with
different
that
ways
in
you
mind,
can
he
save
has a
time on
very
this track.
sizable cut
It'll
Daz's
time will
time.
just tell whenever those
And as
strats
far as
will.
if this will be improved in the
become a
coming
thing,
year, I really don't think so.
For
I
these
think if I was
consistent,
Demon,
semi-consistent
I would be
strats that Demon's
completely
doing in this
sick
run,
of
I would say this run is
category
pretty
from
good.
How long he had to grind it for. That's
He's
just
going
my
for that
assumption
Benny
anyway,
strat right there.
because
You can do that
this
faster.
category is just so volatile to play
Incredibly
because
harder. Way harder than that. But
everything is difficult, but this here is the most annoying part. There's just so much luck
Yeah, that's a pretty
involved
annoying
with
shit
getting
to
that
do.
shrimpless little lip up there, to the point where I believe
doesn't
Demon
get the
has had
triple and gets a bad
multiple,
landing, but
significant world record improvements fail on lap 3. He made all this stuff on lap 3, past the cannon, and just
Alright,
didn't
see.
get lucky on the little lip cut, the main turbo cut. So
he went for the low
if
cannon. I don't
was
think he did go
Demon,
to any
I'd be
lap
sick and tired of
though.
playing this.
What up,
I
Green
wanna
Weebo?
play the other categories here. That's just me. But
Alright.
yeah.
What up, Carter?
Overall, I think this will still be a year of
Gets a
more
triple
Maple
trick
Treeway
there.
improvements on
Nice
the
landing too.
category.
You don't
And
want
I
to
think
wheelie
this
there
glitch
with spear.
category
I
is
heard
gonna
that it's
stand
like
as
it's 10 times
on the
riskier to
category.
wheelie there, even if your
I think
alignment
this
is
will
good.
still be
'Cause of
a
the way
year
spear
more
is.
Maple Treeway improvements on the no glitch
Well, I would
category,
say his alignment was
then I
just
think
bad
this
there
glitch
for it, but
category is
in
gonna
general,
stand
it's just
as
not
it
a
is,
good way to throw a
for the
run
coming future.
to save a little bit.
Also note the best known splits I listed here, which is the best overall, is using the one shimmer clip off the tree root.
That is probably the biggest time save you can add on this, but
hardest thing ever to
it's
do,
very
but that
difficult.
still shows
So
the
you
raw
know,
gap of potential for what can happen
no
here down
predictions
the
for
line.
this one, but
Let me drink some more coffee here.
yeah, they're just bad. All right,
Alrighty.
we got to good shit, good
Rumble
stuff.
Volcano, no glitch.
Okay, before we start this run, just the fact that the BKS give a blow 4, that's very crazy. Just seeing 0.7 laps done on this track is just next level shit. Because before Barney even got this run, just in general, getting 36 laps, regardless of the lap, was very hard. But now that the new strats have been like defined and you know they are semi-consistent RTA, it's seeing these laps, you know, became possible.
An improvement, and Connor reclaims the world record.
Yeah.
This was pivotal too.
Barney didn't want to
because
improve
let's look
this
at
run
how
until
long
someone
it
beat him.
was beforehand.
So I guess now Barney has a reason to play this track again. I would really want to see how Barney
Connor
gets this,
lost the world
if he gets
record
this back.
on this category. September
Barney and
20
Connor both are very good at this track. They have like their weaknesses and strengths, you know. They don't do everything the exact same way. And you will see how Connor catches up to Barney and vice versa, you know.
20. So he got this current time almost exactly 4 years later. September
I'm not sure if
13th
Connor misses a
of this
low.
current
I know
year,
Barney got every single
2024,
low this
and he finally reclaimed it. And the last time he had a world record here,
because now Connor's
was
ahead.
with the old mushroom strategy.
But Barney might
before
still
the
catch
task
up.
string
I'm
was
not
being
sure.
used. So this was really cool to see that Connor successfully converted on the new strategies for modern day
Yeah.
and got it back. He was actually
The way
dominant in
Connor
the
used to
second-
do this turn, he would do this turn with like
the new
the
strategies for modern day.
with the you know the slip. You get the slip, and then you know it's not that much slower, but it still loses time. So it's cool that he converted
and
to
got it
this
back.
now.
He was actually
I would say Barney still does this better than Connor, but
dominant at second worldwide here for at least
both of those players do that section really
one
well.
of those years, I think, since last year. I think he had like
It was pretty
a
good.
very low 0.0, perhaps, I think. But
That low trick
yeah,
is
a very
cancer.
awesome time here performed by Connor.
All right, let's see this.
As far as
That could have
there
been
will be
lower.
improvements in the future,
Goes for that low. Lap
In the
3,
coming
that
year,
low is
for
like
sure.
underrated as fuck. Because
There
you know
will
how
be-
most players in the worldwide top 10, they just trick off of this ramp. They don't go for this low with this alignment. If you miss this low, the run's dead. There's no way you're coming back. But only because there's like a divot here. If you get the perfect low here, it makes this section so much faster. Because you can just wheelie immediately and have this good alignment going into this.
the improvements in the future,
Barney does that as well.
in the coming
But
year for sure.
some people in the top 10
I think
don't
this will
go
see
for
a
that
couple
because
of
it's still
improvements,
very
actually.
risky to
Because
go for
there's
that
been a
time.
good
So
amount of
nice
activity
low
here.
there.
Connor has
Very
played.
good alignment here.
Logan has been improving.
Very
Logan got the
nice,
third 150 here now as well.
Okay, that was very
I
impressive.
think Barney did
That
a
was
couple
that
of
was a little
streams
slow,
and
but it's
attempts
still
here, I
good.
think
Good enough.
immediately after he
Good
was
save.
defeated here.
That could
So
have
we
been
had the
better.
top three be active here in the past couple of months, which is what motivates me to say
Gets the
that
low.
we
Could have
can
been
see
better
some
low, though.
improvements in the
Alright, let's
coming
see
year
this
for
end.
sure. But yeah,
Little
this is
wide,
such a
little
tricky
high.
time trial,
That
and
lap
I
3,
always
this run
admired
could
this
have been a 0.6. I'm just calling it. This lap 3 could have been like a BKS lap 3.
category because
But that ending,
I
yeah.
suck at this track. I'm very
He lost at least, I think he lost like 0.1. So maybe like a mid 7. Maybe a low 7. Okay, maybe like a low 7. I don't think a 0.6 was going to happen there, but
bad
yeah.
here.
Low
I
7,
want to get better
mid
at this
7.
myself personally in the coming year, but I digress. Anyway,
Still a good
that's
run.
a really incredible
But
time
I want to
here.
see more.
BKS give a point.
Top 10 kind of dog shit
Confirmed.
with this new meta or this new standard that's been set. Logan also has a 150. I actually didn't know about that. It's impressive. I know he was going for this, but he didn't get it yet. I don't know if he's still going for it, but I think he should keep going because he wants to get a unique track again. And this is another one where he could definitely snipe the record. But then after Logan, everyone's just at a worse skill level than these three. But it doesn't mean that these players couldn't get to this level, but it's just not there yet. What up, Brandon?
Squeeze out here, so we shall see what the future holds here. As
Also, I don't know if this is Jared's old time. I think it's not, but his old time would still be in the top 10 with the old strats. So that's also an impressive run, even though it's very old at this point.
I've included some other categories. Highly.
All right, this run is it's annoying how the ending happens there, but
now this is
still respect for Connor going for this one as well and finally getting the
it's not an
132
category, but it is still played by the player base. This is the Rock Hop category world record. And
I'm glad NMeade he includes this one because I don't think he did include this one in the other videos.
This strategy is insane. Right-sided rock hop is absolutely
that is QM.
crazy, and I love this. So,
Nice lap one.
natural question might be, why is this not the primary no glitch category?
It's a good question.
A very long story short, the reason why we got here is
Because of history and our old rules that we set 15 years ago.
no glitch
Or
charts
more like
were first
13
created,
years ago, but
and I think mid to late 2009,
yeah.
the rock hop was only 2 for 3 on the left hand side, and lap 3 had to use the Lakitu respawn, and the fact that the respawn had to be used is the primary reason why this category was kind of put to the side.
Yeah.
And the category we just watched just before was the primary established no glitch category for the track. So that's why that has happened. I would say if at that time when
This category still definitely deserves its own category. It's kind of like TF box clip, you know. It's this insanely hard strat that you have to do just to be competitive on this category, and then everything else you just have to have a good, good driving. So it definitely deserves its own category. But it just happens to be that this track has a glitch, ultra shortcut, then a shortcut, and your no glitch category like every track in the game. So, but I would say this is a better way to differentiate these times rather than like having 2 categories only, and then the one category is just not a world record category. I think more tracks should follow this kind of categorizing than just having categories that we don't count as world records, or categories that are no glitch that should be their own thing. There's nothing wrong having more categories than less, and then making players not play those specific categories because there's something that's faster, that's required. So
categories were made,
that's just how I view this, but you guys can tell me what you guys think about it. This ending though, kind of unfortunate.
It's already at 3. I would say if at that time,
so he gets this perfect freaking lap, not perfect, but like, if he got that corner trick there, he doesn't get it, but then, dude,
I think this would
that
be
lost
the
like 0.2.
primary category for the no glitch category on this track. But this is equally super
pace, though.
busted and insane. I think both categories
Respect to
their time to shine
respect
for
setting
sure.
that at least.
But
still.
yeah, maybe.
What the fuck? Logan had 3rd? Didn't know that. Also Mark. Holy fuck. Nordic guy over here. This guy had like a 136 a few years ago. And he's been grinding this track. No doubt. Yeah, I think some of these times are new, but I have no clue because this category is very underplayed. So
category might change in the future. Who knows? But
like if B-boy has worldwide tops in a track, it's not played.
From
enough.
what I know,
no hate
back
against
in the
that guy,
day,
but
those are the primary drivers as to why. But that was a super crazy run as it is.
All right, let's see this shit.
Another crazy run is
Nyake, the goat
run
himself.
on Grumble Volcano. Nyake remains undefeated in the past year.
Makes the game more diverse in
Gyran-
TTs. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much said what I wanted to say without me saying it.
and has not played from what I
Yeah,
can
I agree
tell
with you,
on
Carter.
this track for quite a while. This record,
Because we have only given like the proper treatment with categorization on 2 tracks, DKJP and this, and those 2 categorizations with like 3 different categories was done like really early on in the game. And just because we are like bringing up that we could have like new categories on certain tracks, and just because it's so late into the game doesn't mean that we shouldn't at least think about doing that instead of just like completely, ignoring it, because the game does evolve over time. We always have to be like ready to have discussions about like new categories every time a new meta shift happens or whatever.
it's still a little bit off best known split, but this is such a
But the argument goes both ways. Like we could also argue that, well, someone grinded for something new, and I'm not talking about MG here, I'm talking about other tracks too. If someone grinds for something revolutionary, it should still not be taken away. Like they should still they still, I don't know the word. They still deserve the record because they grinded for something that was not, we didn't have rules for that. So, it's still no glitch. All these times like MT, Delfino, MC, all these tracks that have this one strat that's very hard to do. If you're willing to grind for that strat, then by all means, that's a world record. But then you get into the question of, okay, well, what if people want to play a very skill-based track, but just because there's one strat that ruins the skill aspect of the track, are we just not going to think about that as another category? Or we're just going to say, no, you have to be competitive and follow the meta? Exactly. Warriors Goldmine is another one. It's cool that we still have these Google Docs about, tracking these non-world record times that have the BKT with certain strats. It's cool, but I don't think it's enough. Those times need to be highlighted more, and I want those categories to be played more.
And change. The task entry is so hard to do.
There's no reason
and
to play those
drifting around
categories. That's the issue.
Just absolutely nuts. But
it's a very niche perspective to have, but I think it's not a bad one to have.
Remains on top after so long. It's just immensely impressive.
Yeah, Logan's time on DDR could be better, but compared to the rest, I don't blame Logan for not playing this after this run. So
this run is insane.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe how much this has already been pushed.
Yeah. This track is another example of where there's a new meta that everyone has to follow to be competitive, and that's part of the game. That's just something we have to do. But just seeing the old times with the old strats was so fun. Like Infi's times, Infi pushing the track to its limits with the old strats, like that was also very fun to watch. So I would like to see that as well, but it is what it is. Sometimes you just have to accept the strat change and meta changes. Like
if not for anything
I don't know if it's
else,
called the bin syndrome, but like you don't want to stick to the old
drifting
strats. You have to follow to the new shit.
As you guys are going to see later on. That whole sequence alone and getting the soft drift at the
Let's see this section.
Right-sided exit,
so he gets that.
the drifting fast ramp
Does the hop, gains momentum.
That whole sequence alone.
It's a little bit high there, but he still saves it quite nicely. Mid-8, pretty good. Logan has hit a 0.5 lap 1. It says, 5.75. So, I mean, if he got the chain stick earlier, could have saved like 0.150, and then maybe some other turns he could have saved a little bit more. Like, this can go way lower. 145.9 right there, you see it. But this is a tech-heavy track. Tech driving track, so all of these strats are very hard to do optimally and have the best possible time save per 35.9 lap 2 is crazy.
Can't believe
I think this lap 2 split has to have some kind of strat that was like QM luck. Not sure, but I'm guessing that happened. Like, yeah, we'll not get into it that much, but I think that's how that lap 2 was achieved.
To me. As you can see, there's still room to improve here compared to best known splits.
Logan
And I
does
think
those
for
lows
sure
very
best
well.
zone splits can still be
Unfortunate
improved
bat
by a
hit there,
decent
lost
margin
a
here.
bit, but it's whatever.
I will say
Nice
as well,
wall
like I was
glitch,
talking
not an
about
insta
back in
wheelie,
Kuba
but
Cape, I believe,
still pretty good.
the
Goes for
entire player
this, which I
base
think is
has
faster
really
a little bit, not
stepped it
much.
up, and everyone is getting just so good overall.
Yeah,
at
that
this
was
game.
kind of
And I
slow.
think
I
this
think
top 10
gets a
has
lot of
finally caught
airtime
up
there
with
too.
times, because the world
But
record,
nice recovery.
like top 2 here on this track, at least past 5 years,
Yeah,
maybe.
that was a little slow.
has definitely
That was the
been
only
several notches
slow
above
bit
the rest of
on
the
this
top
lap, I
10.
would say. Everything
I
else
think,
was done textbook.
There were still some 148s in recent years near the bottom of the charts, and there's still quite a gap. But now, I think 10th
The way he
is
did that MT was
147.3.
fine. Like,
It's
it can be
almost
done
there.
better, but
again,
it was
that
good
whole
enough.
sequence there is like that. The
Yeah.
last 7 seconds.
Like, you have to strictly grind that ending to get this run. You're not getting this run because of, like, oh my god, I had a good pace, and let me just finish the run. Hopefully I finish. You actually have to grind this ending. Because I think Logan had fair few fails at this ending, lap 3. That could have been, all of them could have been records, but
Almost a 1 charts.
you have to get this. I don't even know if Logan's super softing this, but preferably you want to super soft this turn, get this MT out, and then wheelie before your boost runs out.
But
so you stay at like 90, high 90s, 90, and then go for this strat, which is, I wouldn't say that's too bad, but then you have to get this jump, this fast ramp. Not necessary, but helps out to save a lot of time, and he does get it here.
Almost there.
The alignment is so weird. Like, you have to have very precise alignment here, and he gets a good landing there, rehops there, and gets the airtime needed.
Like the last 7 seconds of this category of Dry Ruins, completely busted. That's top tier.
He saved like 0.4 by doing all of that. Maybe 0.5. I have no idea what this lap would have been with the old strats. I would actually kind of want to test that out. Correct that ending. Just do like what Imphy does, you know? Go around. That's like what most people do in this track.
You're just such precision technique driving that I cannot overstate how impressive.
You need a 0.5 for 147. This is going way down. This was literally like a 147.7, 147.8 like 2 years ago. Even though the strats have been the exact same, it's just like the player base is catching up. So this 146, all 146 is this top 10 would be a nice thing to see. I think that could happen. That's probably going to happen in a year or two, I would say. Because you have people like Ace that are also pushing these strats to get the 146. Luke could just learn those strats and get it, no worries. Nanase, I've never even seen this guy, but I'm assuming he does the new strats already. He does the shroomless. Maybe lap 3 he doesn't go for it, but at least one lap he goes for it. Infi doesn't go for it, so this is still the fastest time with the old strats. And that's like what I was saying earlier, where I feel like you should have a separate category, at least more notable category for these strats. Not only just the Google Doc, but Google top 10. Rather like have a better... Actually, I don't even know if there's a category for these strats, but yeah, I think everyone in this top 10 does some variant of the new strats. I think Logan and Justin are the only ones. Maybe Ace. The top 3 is the only ones who actually do the ending thing. But other than that, yeah, everyone uses some variant of these strats.
Was for this record here.
So it just comes down to player base to do all the strats.
But yeah.
So we get 146s all the way through.
2.5s, but they're going to be closer to a 0.3, starting at 10th place on DVR.
This run is good. I love this run. We'll see it.
We'll see what happens there in the future.
Yeah.
Movie Highway. This also was not improved in the past year.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe maybe Luke played this briefly.
Maybe.
Also Casey. So Casey got very
Casey.
close. I think Casey is now 3rd. And Casey
Interesting. Didn't know about that.
Here. And I think Casey has had some WR fails here, I think.
Yeah.
So
the thing is that Casey is such a wild card. If he plays a track and gets good at it, he has a very high chance of getting world record. No doubt about it. So Casey just getting like 3rd worldwide on this track speaks a lot if he kept playing on it. And NMeade already saying that he had
Coming
world
here.
record fails. I'm not surprised about that at all. Like
Maybe
he
this
is
can
the
go
modern
down.
day no
Maybe it
glitch
will.
player that we all want to
But
see.
I would totally understand if it was not. And here's why.
Gets a single.
Never watched this
Still a
before.
pretty good single, even
On
though
lap
Luke
3.
caught up there.
This
But
is the first world record to beat the truck lap 3. And that's very pivotal because in years past, not this lap, but lap 3, there's been a truck there that pace locks the world record holders here from going even faster. And then there's a car that goes by on the following.
Yeah, Luke should just
short
learn that
bend.
strat and save that time.
So with that in mind, the hold down the nerves with that too.
These
to
laps
be that
lose like
fast and good.
maybe
Only one
0.1 at
person,
most
being Logan here, has done
to
it.
the optimal lap, but
And I
pretty
don't
good driving
know
regardless. Below 7 with no
someone
double
else
trick
will
is
also
very good.
get to
Gets a
that
double
milestone
chain.
This year. This coming year, I should say.
Beats
So
the
beating
truck.
that, and then look at that.
Yep.
Not only to evade that blue car, but to squeeze out that MT the way that it was.
This
done
ending
is
isn't perfect, but
absolutely
it's
busted.
more than
Like,
perfect enough for a
that's
world record
another
with this
just high level, extremely
this feat
precise
where you beat
thing
the
that's
truck. So
done that I could
deserved.
go back-
Lap 3 is a new BKS for obvious reasons. Yeah, the only thing I'm questioning about the double trick is if it's actually possible to do every lap in a way that it saves time. Because if you look at lap
Maybe
1,
Casey also was not improved in the past year.
I think it's possible. The only thing is I'm questioning is if it's like, because you're not using a shroom here at lap 1 for the alignment that you get lap 2 and lap 3, you know?
There in the future.
You're just kind of
Movie
doing it
highlight.
like this, you know,
This also was
shroomless.
not improved in the past year.
So you kind of get this alignment every time. You don't really get close to this area with shroomless driving and not lose time by doing that, you know? So it would be kind of plus minus lap 1 if you do double trick. Maybe the BKS does double trick lap 1, I'm not too sure, but yeah, at least lap 2, lap 3, seeing double tricks would be the way to go.
Someone else.
Let's see lap 3. I think lap 3 is fine
with
because
that in mind, the hold down the nerves. with
actually, you know what? That's what I just said was probably just BS
so, with
because
that in mind, the hold down the
that
nerves
alignment
with
looks
that
pretty
too,
much
just
the
being
exact same. Let's see
faster.
lap 2.
In years
I just want to see like the difference.
fuel, but I would totally understand if it was not.
Do you need to get
Fuel,
that
But I would
that
totally
stick
understand.
to go for that? You don't need to do that, right? The only reason why they lose time on this turn is because of the truck. The truck kind of screws it up. So it's kind of natural to go for a double trick based on the way the truck is at that pace after lap 1. So that's why you mostly see double tricks on lap 2 because of this alignment and the truck. I guess if people just pushed to be more to the right every lap, then yes, they could probably save time on this. But it's very hard to do that and save time.
Here's why.
It's a lot to
Never watched
ask,
before.
but I think yeah,
On lap
whatever you
3.
said, Carter, it makes sense.
That
It'll take a year or
Like
two
that-
to
that would just
start
take
implementing
too
that,
long
probably.
to
But
repeat things over and over, but just know that this is definitely one of the most impressive world records right now out of the entire track list here. But we shall see.
maybe because no one else has done that, but I wouldn't have been surprised if like 3 people beat the truck this year. No one did because no one really played it, but also I didn't know Paul was 3rd. That's impressive. But yeah, all of these players have the potential to get the splits required to beat the truck. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if any of these top 5 got a new record that beat this, or at least got close to this run, the 142.8. You know,
What is being delivered here.
I want to see the whole top 10 get closer to world record at least if it doesn't get
2025.
improved.
Bowser's Castle.
All right.
No shortcut. Zeke is undefeated still. Nugget remains 2nd worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
And Nugget's run is tragic.
Yeah.
You're going to see Nugget is commanding the charge for almost all of lap 3 ahead of Zeke here. by quite a lot.
Yeah.
Nugget misses a main turbo lap 3 on the spiral,
It's
and then kind of
unfortunate.
deconstructs from there.
Happens. That is
I haven't
like
spoken-
one of the most satisfying things in the game done RTA. Just
Spiral,
like getting
and
the
then
way
kinda-
you, getting this kind of surreal ramp is just next level.
And deconstructs
Not only do you not get a flip there, but you have to wheelie
there.
immediately. He's literally at 120 kmh
Misses
the
a main
second he
turbo
lands.
lap 3 on the spiral, and then it kind of deconstructs from there.
Because for most people, when they do that surreal, if they get it, they delay their wheelie. But he has to insta wheelie. Well, I don't think he actually insta wheelies that, but he almost insta wheelies it. So he even saves more time. It's so
I haven't
good.
spoken to Zeke in probably a year and a half. So I'm not really too sure what he's up to these days.
All I can really
But he
say is
has
that Zeke's had
played
good
during that
paces here.
time.
Nugget has
No
had
activity from what
insane
we've seen anyway.
good like fails here too.
It was
So
really exciting to see when Zeke was active here at the
Yeah.
time. It'll be really cool to see if Zeke is active with the other top players here at the same time, because I think all of the top 10 BC Wii players, especially the top 5 players, have been kind of like passing ships in the night. Like they're active here and then they're not, and they're there and they're not, that type of thing. You know
makes
what I mean?
sense because you don't want to just one.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't want to
multiple
just
players
no
are
life
so
this track
talented here
forever.
where they all
Like you
can
have
get
to do
219.
other shit too.
This is by far one of the hardest tracks and categories in the entire game to play.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
the best known split, the discrepancy, it shows it. It's almost a 218.
It shows it, but not only does it show it, it's kind of, you know, the BKs are just kind of made up, you know. Whatever it says the total is 219 that is not realistic because of the cycles of the. But not only that, I don't think you can save much on those laps, even if the geysers were favorable. Like it's already, all those splits are very good. So the limit for this track, I would say, is like 219.7 with human, you know, everything done like textbook. I would say that's like what we want to see for a world record at some point in the game. 219, no question. 219.8, 219.7. I think it can happen in a few years, depending on who's gonna grind for it. I think it's more of a mental thing now than actually getting the run, you know, because of how much shit has to go right in order to get this run. One mistake is gonna lose so much time in this track that it's, you know, you're just gonna miss that 219.7 every time it happens. So it's a lot to ask for a run, but you know.
Splits,
I hope
definitely
219
still
at
go
least
down
happens
a lot
next year,
because that
at
lap
least.
3 is heavily unoptimized.
What up, Colin?
Let's explain this before we get to the end of lap 3. Sometimes you see.
So you see Zeke's already like,
Let's explain.
what was that, lap
That lap
1.6?
3 is
Actually, that's a lap
heavily
2, my bad. Wasn't Zeke's lap 1 like,
unoptimized.
I'm not gonna go back, whatever, we'll
Let's
just watch
explain
it.
this before we get to the end of lap 3. Sometimes you see best known splits lap 2 and 3 being the same. That means they're using the lap 2 for lap 3 because theoretically there's no pace locks or cycles or anything else to prevent that being repeated.
For this track, it's not like
but
that
on
though,
this
yeah.
track, the geyser strats are differently, the wave carpet tricks are differently, so you can't use that for lap 2.
You can't get this lap 3 with RTA, and even if you could, this lap is just not accurate because of the way you get the boost going into lap 2 from lap 1. Because you get that triple geyser, you get that last one that almost gets you to the line. It's kind of like a flap strat, you know. So this lap 2 is not accurate. Lap 1 accurate. Lap 2 is not this fast with this lap 1, so this pace is not realistic. And this lap 3, I think it can be improved, but I'm not sure about the geysers on a pace like this. So how would this lap be looking with this kind of pace? Because this lap is not achieved with this pace. It's achieved with like a pace that's almost a second slower than this, you know? So, yeah, BKSs are something you can't really look at when you play this track, but yeah. 0.7 is my guess.
Look at this here. Let's watch together.
For the limit. Yeah, exactly.
Look at how much Nugget lost there.
Yeah.
And now he's almost off screening, and now they're very
See that again.
3. Now,
So Nugget has like a point, like a comfortable point 150, 0.2 lead right here.
let's watch together.
Gets that MT, misses this one because of some random BS bounces. He barely doesn't get the MT, and that MT loses so much because then you also can't get this. Actually, he kind of did get a stick there, but yeah, it's just the MT. It just loses.
And now he's almost off screening, and now they're very close. And the geyser tricks. Oh yeah.
Nugget gets a better double trick than Zeke's triple, but he still lost because of the mistakes he made earlier.
Probably would have had like a 219.7 or something bust like that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I think that's like where we should be looking at for the limit of humans.
Almost every player here has what it takes to get a 219. I want to see the first 219 happens in 2025.
Yes, same.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Been talking a lot. Sorry, fellas. Moving on. Now to Bowser's Castle shortcut category.
Emil is the GOAT here. Loved how Fox got second place, or Fox got the record for a brief moment.
Own WR here. And I think continuing to try to further the gap here compared to second place.
I love how he does that. Oh, that strat's so cool. It's actually very nice that now we can actually finally see, does he actually save time? Because I believe he does. See how much he's behind here?
Compared to second place, making the world record.
Does that? That's kind of QM. Can't lie. That's a little bit of a QM. It didn't save much, but it still saved time there with that strat.
It's always props to continue to improve upon your own world record.
These glitches on this run are pretty good.
For a while.
It's unfortunate the lap 3 with the geysers, but everything else about this run looks pretty nice. It's a nice. Okay, that wasn't good, but
so I always give players props.
We'll see. We'll see.
Be at the highest level
no stab landing, pretty good.
Still improve upon their current world record, because I think to get a
little bit wide, but yeah, I don't like the way he does that strat. It's kind of a
head on straight to perform, but it's another thing to excel and to beat your previous best when you already are on top.
I would say Emil's castle is slower to most players.
Like to shout out everyone that
that's one spot where he could save time on this run
by themselves. It was actually really cool. To my memory here,
Emil is a pretty good player by all means, but his no glitch driving is not at the same level as most players in this track. So.
I think this lap 3, to my memory, was actually driven pretty well, and I think categorically he loses like 0.2 on the geysers at the end, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think maybe his wheelie just came out at the unopportune time, and the geysers go very bad.
Why did the wheelie strat on the half pipe take forever to be found? But, well, first of all, the wheelie on the half pipe saves maybe a frame, not even that much. So it doesn't even save that much. So probably for that reason, you're just adding more inputs for no reason to save nothing. At a world record level, I understand it completely, but yeah, I think it was known, but there was really no reason to add it to a world record that was already bad. Like the world record was at like a 221 no glitch when they started experimenting with the wheelie. Even Zeke didn't go for it until like his .0. I don't think his .5 did the wheelie strat. Maybe he did it, but I...
the dirt or grass, rather. Dark textured grass.
I just want to see this ending again.
8th, I think we will definitely see some more improvements in the coming.
Yeah, he like kind of stick to the ground in a weird way. He might have been nervous there, but like...
definitely see some more.
I can see what he was trying to do here. He just wanted to get the wheelie with the MT, like not miss the wheelie. But he kind of overshot it here. And yeah, there's just no way to save this. Like you need to take that high trick there. He did the best he could. Gets that. If he got this second trick, this could have still been somewhat decent, but he just wheelies, so
or grass,
it's unfortunate.
Dark textured grass. Yeah. And the unfortunate geyser tricks there.
A low 108 is doable.
I think
it's what it's probably gonna happen.
207 and Primus next year.
207 would be a stretch in my opinion, but
overall, that's wonderful.
Below 208, Emil has the chance to do that if he cleans up his driving a bit.
by editing magic. Hopefully this aligns here. How to get some more water here. Been talking a lot so far.
All right.
Here we go. Rainbow Road. No
This run is
glitch.
pretty good for the
This
strats.
has not been improved in the previous year. Flair remains on top as #1 for Rainbow Road. And I don't think Flair has really played this since he set this time.
Yeah.
Back in
No
Dell.
surprises there.
And Kaede always has his spurts here once in a while of playing Rainbow
I don't really
Road.
know
And
much about this track, so I can't really
Kaede
comment
is
on it, but
Mr. Persistent,
we'll just hear what NMeade has to
Mr.
say.
Consistent on this track. I think eventually, Kaede will reclaim the world record here.
yeah, I would have that hope too.
He's the overwhelming force of Rainbow Road for so long now.
Kite has been playing this
And
track
I
since
think when the time
world record
happens,
level
Flair will
since
answer the call,
2016,
as he
so
always does here. And
no surprise if
I don't
Kaede
know.
pushes it and gets the
I
record here.
want to imagine
I think he should
223 can
go for it.
happen, but I really don't know, man. Like,
Nah, I don't think it's gonna happen.
especially to lap 3, because I think lap 3 is Kaede's BKS and so is lap 2. But they're just so strong as it stands for those laps. And just to imagine to improve that even more and to barely squeak out the 223.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I normally
This
am
is
one
just
for
my take on a lot of these BKS splits. Like, BKS 223, if the BKS gave 223 hypothetically, I still wouldn't like say that it's possible. It's just not how it works. Like, you getting one good lap doesn't mean that you're gonna get a good run. Because the mind, there's the mind games that you have to think about. Like, in order to get a split like this or this, you are pretty much at a dead run already. Like, you're not thinking about a world record. You're just thinking about, okay, let's just YOLO this lap, whatever. And that's usually how these laps happen. Like, they don't happen out of thin air, out of like, you know, because you're nervous and you'll suddenly get a split like this. You're not gonna do that. It happens only when your pace is so bad that it's not even gonna world record or whatever is your goal on a track. So
the super bold predictions, but I don't know. I don't know if this is a tale of what is it in Mario Kart Deluxe? Is it
unless this track has like yeah. Like Julian would be happy with a 0.4 right now, but yeah. It's only like maybe these splits can be improved. I'm not saying that, like, because I don't know about RR, but the what it appears to me is like the only way you can realistically like beat these splits is to have better driving. I think the driving is pretty good on these splits. I don't really think there's much to save. Maybe RR experts can tell me wrong, but
F-Zero tracks where the sub.
But even if they do
happen,
get
I
improved a
watched an
little bit more,
awesome
it still
video,
doesn't mean that 223 is
by
achievable.
Alpha,
Like,
and I'll link that down below. And I wonder if that's the same type of case as here, because right now the BKS don't even give it yet, and I think already the BKS here are already extremely strong as it is.
Exactly.
So unless some busted new strategy happens for Kart gameplay here, I don't know. I mean, I think for sure BKS will eventually meet a 223.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the 223 actually being hit,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would say once this splits, this is always been kind of my estimation. I'll just use that estimation here. If the splits give a 223.8, like a mid 8, then I would say 223 is achievable humanly, but it's kind of the same as TF, you know. You won't see a 148 unless the splits get better than a 0.850. You have that like 150 difference between the world record and the BKS splits. That's when you're like stretching it on a track that's this long, and it's also a little bit tech heavy. It's not completely driving, so yeah, I would say like that rough estimation of 150 milliseconds slower than BKS is pretty good on most tracks that are these like tech driving tracks. You know.
I'm curious. I don't know. But as it stands for now, This is still extremely strong here, but I don't think this is
The
where
strats are kind of
battle
limited
ends.
on this track.
I think
So
Flair and Kaede both have their hand
impressive lap 1, impressive lap 3. That's all I can really say about this run. I don't really know
for
much
some
about
more
RR
WR
otherwise.
battles down the line. So we shall see what happens here in the future. They're still a good ways away.
Julian
from the
got
pack,
third worldwide with a 0.7. Congrats to him.
but
Good
we
run.
shall see if anyone
Very
else,
nice
trades
PB
hands
cut. He
here
had a
in the
0.0
future.
before that. So.
I wanted to include
Ooh,
this
interesting.
category too.
Okay, this is very interesting. Okay, the thing is, I haven't seen this run, and we'll see.
This video. This
Yeah,
time is busted.
yeah, yeah.
If you guys haven't watched these videos
Goes for a
for
down
a good
trick there.
number of
Interesting.
years,
I've never seen
you
anyone
probably
do
don't
that.
even know what Flame Runner driving looks like on this track. This was what it was before.
Hello? But I guess, yeah, that
looks
makes
like
sense.
on this
Tricking there
track.
makes no sense.
This
So
was what it was
there's probably no
before
time difference
Kart
doing a trick there. But
was the fastest strategy for Rainbow Road No Glitch. But there's a lot of new things they're doing here.
Okay.
And when I heard that Ivan was doing some busted crazy driving here, I had to watch.
let's see. Let's see.
And I could not believe what I watched.
Okay.
Because
Does he go for the?
this time is busted. He's doing
Oh my God! No
multiple
way.
new
Yeah, of
strategies.
course.
So, as you're going to see, he does one extended wheelie before the wave.
Oh,
zipper
that
trick,
is.
which
Oh, the way he does
he
that
does
too.
one
Like,
extended wheelie before.
you know how most people do this? They hop, wheelie, and shroom. They do the wheelie input and the shroom input at the exact same time. That's like how I do it. I think that's how most people do this strat. I think what Ivan does here, he hops and shrooms at the same time and does the wheelie afterwards. So it makes this way better and faster. It's kind of like how the Taz does it here. So
the wave zipper trick.
you just see the
which
way
is
he does
new,
that
was
wheelie.
interesting
It's
to me.
completely
That
different.
was a clever idea that they're doing now.
Might be wrong there,
Two
but
is
I'm
not new,
assuming
but
that's
he's
how it
doing
is.
A full wheelie at the figure 8.
He definitely
and
makes
those
it more
tricks. Very hard to do. It can go south
exaggerated
very
compared
quick.
to other players.
He's barely catching these zipper cycles, which looks so
Yeah.
cool, by the way.
Let me see that lap 1 split again because I
Wave
didn't.
zipper
Okay,
trick,
a point low
He
6.
does one
Nice.
extended wheelie before the wave zipper
Yeah,
trick,
no, same here.
which is new, was interesting to me. That was a clever idea that they're doing now.
This is like
Two
cinema.
is not new, but he's doing
But it could be a
full wheelie
225,
at the
I
figure
think.
8, imitating those tricks.
When you add new
Very
meta
hard
onto the
to
track,
do.
you
It can go
just
south
unlock new
very quick.
potential. So
He's barely catching these zipper cycles, which looks so cool, by the way.
does the wheelie there,
at a high
very
shroom there,
underrated.
unfortunately,
Misses
but
the
still
wheelie
a
there,
very
gets a kind of a
fast pace
bad
currently.
shroomless, but
He's doing super tight half pipe drifts here, which just looks absolutely nutty.
yeah.
And I couldn't believe this. They're doing the shroomless path skip with a bike now, with the inside drifting bike.
Damn.
Bizarre, man. And
Does
small
that
detail, but
again?
he's
Does he do it
releasing
lap
that
3 as well?
Super early. Like, he won't release the MT
Wow.
that early.
Okay, that is
in
impressive.
years past with using
0.5,
Flame Runner,
0.6,
driving here.
0.5 pace. Low 6, high
But I
5.
felt a nice
See this lap
blast
3.
to pass
Probably doesn't go
for
for it
what
lap
the
3.
Flame Runner world record
Unless he
run is.
makes a
It'll be
mistake.
cool to watch because I love the Kart driving and how it took over the category. But
Ooh,
I didn't know
that was nice.
All these new strategies
That
for
was
Flame
pretty good
Runner
too.
on this track were
Not
starting to be
perfect,
used
but
now.
very fast.
So Ivan does not do the shroomless path skip on lap 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I put untrapped for BKS because I couldn't find Flame Runner best known splits here on this category at
Should have
all.
asked Ivan because
but still,
like Ivan's the only one who has
This
these
will
kinds of
definitely be
splits.
a
So
225, but man, like, because you guys don't know.
Good
Ivan
run.
is an
2 for 3
incredible
pass
kart
splits. That's
player as
very
well,
good.
Funnily enough, he
still gets a 48.9 lap 3 with the OG strats. That's like what you are looking for lap 3. Obviously, it could have been better. Like you see Toraya getting better than this, but yeah. After
has the
this
most
pace,
busted
getting this kind of
Flame
lap
Runner
3 is
time
still
now
very
on
good.
a
So
primarily
it's a question mark. How
kart-dominant
low can it
category
go?
for the track? I'm tongue-tied, man. Like, that is so busted and impressive. Like,
damn, 10th place, what S. Yeah, that's not good. But like this time is still impressive, but not a played category. I would say only top 4, top 5 actually played this category at a decent level. And everyone after that kind of just, yeah, they just completed it for a time, I guess.
I could not believe what I saw when I watched that. So
Actually, I would literally say top 3 has the chance to get time like this, or well, Ivan already has it. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'm just gonna say that Hizumi also has the possibility, but I don't think he cares. But yeah, maybe 2 to 4. I think everyone has a chance to get a time like that.
Now, we had an improvement as well in the past year on Rainbow Road Glitch,
on a category that's not played. That's what I'm saying, Carter. Like, if we had this as a world record category, like,
that's what
I would only imagine like what players would push on this category. It would be so awesome to see it. Like, this could be a 225 if this was an official category, official world record.
Busted and impressive. Like, I could not believe what I saw when I watched that. So job well done.
You like, even Luke, he only has this time because he doesn't give a fuck about cards. Same with Olive. Like, these people, they only played this to get a time on this track for a time shit, probably. That's what I guess. And they don't feel like learning cards, so that's why they, you know. There could be, yeah.
Now, we had an improvement as well.
We don't know.
On Rainbow Road Glitch, and we had Core gain the world record from Danny Boy.
I'm not gonna comment much about this run because I don't really understand this shit.
The Phantom, and Danny Boy was on Shooting Star. I may possibly get this wrong.
Yeah, probably.
But I believe it was Danny Boy or one of the Rainbow Road Glitch time trialers were saying that I think Phantom can give you higher airtime, which makes getting the glitch a bit more reliable or more consistent.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure that's what I was told. But I think both are overall.
Doesn't really matter what it is. It's
before,
Phantom
you guys can
apparently is
tell me in the
better,
comments
so
if
I
I'm
guess
wrong.
that's why they're using it. There's no doubt about
But
that.
as you can see, though, the best known splits is 3 for 3. So, at one point, we are going to see 1,000,000% the first 3 for 3 Rainbow Road glitch run.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe it. Like, from how much it took for a human to land a glitch here for the first time to where this is at now, in case you guys don't know, there's Spear being attempted, eventually Quacker was the one to do it.
Yeah.
Then the outside drifting bike bouncing mechanics off the wall unlocked Shy Guy Beach, this track, a lot of things. So we shall see who is going to be the first person to get a 3 for 3. I think next year is the first 3 for 3. That's my current prediction.
Yeah, probably Owen Smith, right?
On to the retros now.
Right.
We have Peach
Good time.
Beach here.
Love this time.
We have the no glitch category. This is Once More by Casey.
Mm-hmm.
And second worldwide is Guy. Both have been WR
Nice
holders
hat.
here
Thanks,
before.
Sid.
And I don't
Yeah, it has
really
like
see this
3
being improved for
release.
a good
Joker
number of years,
hat.
I think. Here's why. To my memory, I think Casey got everything he wanted with this current time here.
Yeah.
He did fail almost a 112.5 to my memory. I forget if it was before or after this time, but
Didn't know about that.
I think Casey has had just much bigger targets and sights for him to what his interests
I'm not
are now
actually
at this
sure if
point.
NMeade's like misremembering, because I think it was Guy who had a crazy run here. Guy's best known pace was like a 0.5 run if he got the ending, but he fucked up lap 3 beginning, so it's only a best known pace. Maybe Casey also had a run like that. I'm not too sure, but yeah,
He's
the Guy
been
one I
WR
remember.
contender for multiple different tracks, which we're going to see later on in this video. And Guy doesn't play the game anymore.
Mhm.
Cole doesn't play the game anymore. So there's no one in this cluster that have been, really active here to try and get the record.
Yeah.
I think multiple players can be capable of getting fast enough to do it here, but I don't think they're going to be going out of the way to do it anytime soon.
Yeah.
That's just my current prediction.
I agree with NMeade.
But still, like, look at that.
0.8, 0.0, 0.6. You can't really, all of these splits can be lowered. So this 0.8 can be a mid to low 0.8. Same with this, That's the only thing you can kind of see being improved. But none of these splits aren't bad. Like, all of them are good, so,
Compared to best
yeah,
on
Guy had the
splits,
insane pace,
it's
exactly.
very close now. I think long term a high 5 will happen.
Probably by
Apart
Casey.
from that, it's gonna be.
So the only realistic people who could get close to KC is Luke. We know Luke as the Flame Runner GOAT, so I mean that's an impressive time for sure, considering he doesn't play spear dominated tracks that much, but yeah. Maybe Logan has some untapped potential in this track if he played it enough. Because he only really played this for the God standard, And the rest of these times are kind of old. Liam is still 10th place. Very impressive considering it's from May 2013. So I believe this is the oldest worldwide top 10 time currently. At least in no glitch, and I believe all overall too, because CM got improved by the whole player base, so Takamine isn't there anymore. So this is the oldest worldwide top time currently. Yeah, I would have to say KC is currently the only one that can improve this. If Guy or Cole doesn't come back, Cole ain't coming back. I don't know about Guy. I think he also won't come back. So it could just stay this way.
Very
but
minimal cuts after that, if anything. But yeah, as the story goes on the no glitch category, the same story can be told on the glitch category. As we saw, Guy has this category still. And Guy was the first one.
Very underplayed, so not surprised.
On this category here, it was very hype when it happened, and with Guy not playing, I don't think Arrow has played since he got his time, the 1 minute 049.
Yeah, not too sure.
This category is pretty dormant, so
one of the worst glitches in the game, undoubtedly.
I really want to emphasize this one thing. Just watch closely at how he does this tree clip here.
That was a nice turn.
If you notice, he goes right up to it, breaks just a smidge of a second, and goes and clips.
Yeah.
When I was recording these to put this together so I can commentate it after, when I was watching more closely at that, I cannot believe how insane that is. Like,
I want to see that
recording
chain
to put this.
Okay, it's an 88, so
I can
yeah, could have been a low 9, but
when I was watching more closely at that,
he got the sub. He got what he wanted,
insane
so can't really argue. Can't really blame.
If you knew where it was beforehand, when you would stop, align, MT, align, and shroom.
If he got the chain, he would have beaten Nim's time, I believe. Nim had a point at 9, lower 9. So if Nim's run was legit, that would be the oldest world record, and like insanely old, like 2015. Yeah, probably, but it's because it's the last chain, Flam. It's like the one that I kind of noticed,
In that all at full speed, that is otherworldly, so impressive. So I just want to highlight how just insane.
Because nothing really matters, Flam, after you get the 2 clips. You have to get the first 2 glitches, and then the run is like on, If you get a drop at the beginning, no one really cares, but because it's the last chain, it's so if you get that chain, it's kind of a big deal. So.
And that is too.
But yeah, it's whatever. It doesn't matter. He got the sub. It's really impressive that he pushed it to the sub.
Different story for Yoshi Falls.
Yeah.
This will 1,000,000% get improvements. In the next year.
David, I don't want to be mean to David, but he didn't deserve to have this record this long, and it's still the record. So, this is the oldest record right now, isn't it? I mean, it's not a bad time by any means. It's actually a very goated time if you consider the lap 2 being so bad. Like, outside of that lap 2, lap 1, the sandwich splits, it's like actually very goated if that lap 2 was good.
Multiple people will be trading hands on this track. This has had a large amount of activity.
This lap 1 is very good. Very good lap 1.
David is back, and he's been streaming.
Yeah.
Logan's trying to get it. Casey
So that right there probably lost him
and,
50 ms.
One or two others have also been
And then
too,
he probably, I think he
at
proceeds to
almost
lose more
WR
time
level.
here at the end.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that is
Not
very
a matter of
unfortunate.
if, a matter of when.
So overall,
And it's
he
gonna be
lost
crazy
like
because I remember looking,
0.150 that lap, and then this lap 3 is pretty good.
But I don't think David ever
Catches up
lost
to
his
Casey.
reign ever since first getting this track. Actually, let me see. Let me check. I was wrong. I lied. He was beaten
A little
once
bit
by
wide,
Bryson.
but does the ending pretty well.
When he got it back,
Gets a nice
he's been
alignment.
undefeated
Gets a half.
for almost 5 years.
It's good.
It'll be
It's good
April
enough, you know.
2025. And this, wow, that's crazy. This current record here is almost 1,500 days now.
Yeah.
1,496 days.
Oldest
And
record. No
that's
glitch overall,
slowly
I think.
approaching the longest standing Yoshi Falls world record. So,
Ooh.
very impressive stuff.
Okay.
But I think things get shaken up next year.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I think this will definitely go down during next year because this is
Yeah, I think
exciting.
actually
So,
for the first time in like 2-3 years, I think finally we are seeing a breakthrough in this track. This run that Sosis set a few years back is like, it's very good, and it still holds up being very good. If you consider the fact that Barney recently got this 0.7 and it's still like almost 24 milliseconds slower. You know, 24 milliseconds is a lot in a track that's this short. But this run that Sosis got it's pretty
Barney
good. It gets
has
splits
now
that you kind of want to
finally
hit.
gotten the
But I would
second
say
world
now
ride
that
here
the
in past, like,
players
only
are
2 weeks
better.
or so.
They're only like
And what's also impressive
they're only like
is
mediocre
Barney
at
is the
best,
first
or like
person to beat
they're only
Blaze,
good at
who's
best, you
third
know.
worldwide. So
he gets a low 7. You can get a 0.6 now, so you know, and he's done that before many times, so it's nothing crazy.
Blaze was first defeated on this track, this category,
2019.
in 2021.
Oh,
So
wait,
Blaze's
what? Really?
former WR
Oh
was
yeah,
only beaten by
true.
one.
I think he set his run in like 2020, maybe 2019, but Blaze wasn't beaten for the longest. Like Sosis was close, but he never really beat Blaze. But he finally broke through. Interesting that he was 21 because I thought he was earlier, but yeah, Sosis has had the record since then. He only improved it like once or twice.
For almost 4 years, which is actually insane.
It's a low 5. You can get a 0.4 though.
So with that in mind, this is definitely gonna go down because look, they were pretty much
Wait, did
tied
Barney
here
do the new strat, the Justin thing?
4 years, which is actually insane.
Let's see this shit.
So with that in mind,
Wow, he goes for it? Damn. Unless that is Justin. I don't know who he's comparing here, but I mean, assuming that is Barney because Barney's second.
this is
But
definitely gonna go down because look, they were pretty much tied here, and Barney was slightly ahead, than this Aerosol slightly just didn't get it out here. But really,
wait, did they both clip?
Aerosol slightly just didn't get it out here. But
I
really,
can't
really
see.
exciting stuff
You
here
can't
for
really
GB2.
tell, but yeah, that's
A lot of
insane.
players collectively
Barney had a
have been active
chance.
here.
I like these splits look nice. Low 7, low 5, high 4. Like this is pretty good. But right now the standards is higher, so I would say 0.6 minimum. We want to see a 0.6 here. Maybe a mid 6, but you know the more time saves or the lower time you hit, closer to BKS you get, increasingly way harder it becomes. So
In the past year, so I think
how much faster is that? Oh, the new strat. I don't know, but I think this lap right here is with the new strat. So, you know, it's not a big time save. Also, I think this lap 3 is not that good if it's done with the new strats. If it's done with the old strats, then you see the difference, how much he lost lap 3, even though it's a 0.4. But if this is with old strats, I think with the new strat, you can get a 0.3 lap 3. But if this is with new strats, then it can only be a low 4. So maybe like 30 milliseconds. It's not a big difference, but BK's yeah, exactly.
Next year,
Because I don't know if this is Justin's lap 3 in his run. Justin's lap 3 does the same strat, gets a really good lap 3, but I'm not sure if this is the splits that's still BKS or if it's a different one. But yeah. We're definitely seeing a world record improvement. 0.6 might be a stretch. I think a low 7 this year. 0.6 may be realistic next year if it's being played. We just have to wait and see.
52.6. And I think multiple people can possibly lead that charge and make that mark be done here.
Yeah.
So
impressive that Blaze is still third, or his time, is third, and he only recently got knocked down to third, because this has been second ever since Sosa's got the record. So, this time is underrated, and people are getting close. So. This top 10 has improved, but I would like to see a 0.7 from everyone in the top 10, and I would say at that point you could say the top 10 is pretty strong. But right now, mid 0.8 is not strong enough.
Very exciting things.
Maybe for 2021 you could say that's strong, but now it's not.
Activity is booming here for sure. So the exact opposite story now.
This is one of my favorite categories because I grind it myself, although I haven't really done it in a while. But my goal for this track was to get 2 for 3. I never really finished the job, and I don't really know if I'm going to keep going because it's been such a long overdue. But I'll talk more about it after we get to the top 10. But
this the fact that
this run is very old.
Land,
not much to say
turn
about
around, instant align shroom, and makes it man, jeez, dude, couldn't believe it at all.
Good lap
when
1.
I first saw this.
BKS is obviously faster, but
I think
it's good enough.
Again, if Logan doesn't choose to play it, I don't think Vincent has tried in the longest time to get this back.
Also, I don't think this lap 2 split's accurate. I probably should go and submit the actual best lap 2, lap 3 split, because these are shroomless laps. I know Justin has a point. I think Justin has a 0.1, but the reason why it's not counted as a best split, it might actually be the blocks not falling. Maybe that's the reason why it's not. You've never seen this trap before, really? Yeah, 884 by Justin. Okay, so that's the best known split. I think, yeah. Yeah, the new strat doesn't save much, Flam. Doesn't save that much. It's probably more of an optional strat than actually a time save. But obviously it does save time, but if you do something that's way more hard and you save 20 ms, it's not really you can save time by just driving better. That's my argument. Exactly, it's a glitch category, exactly. Yeah. But the only reason why I find this very nice category is because of the driving. You have to still drive pretty well.
This could
I think the reason why Justin's 0.1 is not counted in these splits is because of this block. Because in the shroomless BKT, his lap 3 is an 18.1, but it's only because of these blocks being fallen. And the fact that you can take this first turn slightly tighter is not allowed for... Yeah, that makes sense.
Rival being the longest Mario Kart Wii world record.
Misses the slip there, loses probably close to 0.1 there.
Holds that title is Mr. Bean's Royals Gold Mine glitch time. I think this has
slight wheelie turn at the end
for what it takes.
Wait, what did NMeade say? One sec. I'll just listen to him.
Holds that title is Mr. Bean's Royals Gold Mine glitch time.
Yeah.
I think this has that same type of energy for what it takes to have the longest lasting world record. Listen.
That's a good comparison. I would still say that this is not going to become the longest lasting because it's the run itself is nothing crazy. Yes, a 140 a 49 run looks goated, and on the top 10 it looks like no one's even close. But it's very bad. It's just a bad run. Even Logan himself could probably get a 0.7 if he just came back to the track. I think what's going to happen, either Vincent or someone else is going to get the record here, and then the others are going to, try and improve their times. Logan probably coming back, get the record back. But if no one's going to actually do that, then yes, then I would say this could become it. But some of the things Nick say are funny, yeah, but I think what Nick is doing, he's being more optimistic than you should be. You gotta be a little bit skeptical about some of these predictions, but he's like his predictions are more like, if something gets done on a track, we might see a time that could be realistic with like whatever he's predicting. But yeah, right now I wouldn't say whatever he's predicting with some of these tracks is not accurate. But yeah, you see the 0.4 is BKS total, so definitely can be improved. But
actually see how many
the energy, he
right
said
now.
the energy part, like that
Well,
kind of,
just
I kind of agree with that. But,
let's look down.
like you can see these splits, that could be 0.1 faster realistically. That's pretty good. I would say maybe like 20 ms faster, lap 3.1 faster.
1,242
0.7 is
days
realistic.
So far. Longest last.
All right, I'll talk about this track, this top 10, because this has been my goal. My goal has always been to beat Justin. Achieving this kind of time is very easy with 2 for 3. Justin's 2 for 3 time is bad because his lap 1 glitch, he gets a high clip instead of like the clip where you wheelie and you hop and get the low clip. So if I can get 2 low clips, I can beat this and get 4th. Beating Infi or Leaf, sorry, is not. I'm not gonna be able to do that with my skill, but I can beat this, and that would be the goal for me. And then all these other times, they're all done 1 for 3. All of these are 1 for 3, and even my PB is like 52.0. So I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm 11th, but I'm like very close to 10th. So what I just got to do is get 2 for 3, and then 4th is mine. But since it's been already like 2-3 years, 2 years, I don't really know if I'm gonna keep going. I'll have these long sessions every once in a while, but
Mr. Bean's record, it might be Logan's GV2. We shall see.
Okay.
All right, so this had an improvement in the past
I
year.
like the slip. You just see how much it saves. Like, it's a free time save. Like, just go for it, man. That can be done almost 100% consistently, so.
And he finally gets a Raceway world record. And as you saw at the beginning, a new but not new strategy.
Yeah, not new.
Doing a slip at the beginning for the first turn. I mean, that's been known for forever, but no one really bothered really doing that.
Yeah.
Mostly Daisy Mock players were doing it, but no one was bothering with Funky Flame until now.
Yeah.
And it definitely saves a good amount of time. But even still, that's just the first.
This run is not that impressive, considering it only beats the former world record by 5 milliseconds. I would say this former record, it was impressive at the time, but it kind of got, like, the category wasn't played that much, so the record just kind of stood, and, you know, every year the standard got higher and higher. So this record was mostly just notable that Vincent was able to get it, because it took him so long to get it back, and it also just, like, took him a lot of attempts, more attempts than most people at this, like, kind of skill level would need. So it's more like a sentimental thing for Vincent that he got it back, even though the improvement wasn't that big. So
turn of the track, and it's only done one time at the very start there.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, Vincent finally pulled through a world record run here.
But I'm glad Vincent was able to hold the record on this track. And I mean, if he gets beaten, it's very surprising or very possible that it's going to be beaten this year. But
and he had like a 150 lead over.
This is kind of the same thing as Fox getting the record on BC Week shortcut. You know, like he just got it, and it was a big deal because Fox hasn't had a record in a while. So this is kind of the same thing, you know.
Third and fourth.
Although I think Vincent has had MC3,
so
but still.
Vincent, it was Luke, and it was Yasho, all at mid to low 3. And then Sosa's bust out this giant 198, and it stood for quite a while. But overall, I think this will definitely get to a 140 long term. This hasn't really been too active since Vincent's time.
That's a little bit optimistic. He said that. Well, he said that like 2 years ago too, and I'm not even sure if it's NMeade or it was Sosis who said he wants 140, but that is a stretch in my books because of the splits, because of the BKS. This has to be at least a 0.8, maybe a mid 0.8 to be even more realistic, but yeah, it's not. Obviously the track is mostly driving and there's the chain, but other than that, it's even for a driving track, it's still a bit of a stretch to say right now that 140 could happen. I don't think it can happen. I think a 0.0 is where it's at. We'll see though.
Play again,
I want to be proven wrong. So it's...
Yasha was such an amazing player. Hopefully Yasha is doing good these days.
He lost time there because he could have dropped or a half.
130 in KC too. Because
obviously there's time save.
BKS here is actually the Daisy best known splits.
He lost with those two.
Is like off by like 4 milliseconds or
at
something
the end
like that.
Daisy can 140, I bet. Yeah, but I still want to see BKS on Daisy be improved before anyone claims that it's possible.
Pivotal if Daisy and Mach were to get WR.
But yeah, I would agree that Daisy should be played more in this track to push the limits. Because maybe getting a mid 140.8 splits with Daisy isn't that crazy. But I would want to see that happen first before anyone claims that 140 is happening. Because right now it's not with the current splits.
This track, and that was a similar tale for RBC in years past. So that'd be cool to see like RBC 2.0, you know, but we shall see. Anyway, what in the absolute world has happened on Sherbet Land?
Good question, NMeade.
Both categories have had just the most insane things go on. So this is one of the biggest stories of 2024 Mario Kart Wii 150cc time trial, ladies and gentlemen. Here's why. Sosis improved his former WR 203.750.
Yeah.
This world record was the longest world record by a long shot on Sherbet Land. It was almost 1,800 days. And I think the primary reason why he wanted to play it again is because multiple
Was it by a long shot? You know what? I don't like going out of this video to check stuff, but I just want to see, because I know, we all know RSL is one of those tracks that doesn't really get played that much. And some of these records last for a very, very long time. So we got, for example, we got the Ken time, that's over 1,000 days. But yeah, NMeade is totally right with that statement, because yeah, it is crazy. Yeah, if it's almost 2,000, it's way longer than this. This was the only reason why I was skeptical what he said, but yeah, that makes sense. All right, let's keep going.
We're getting 203s finally, and they're getting WR fails. So Sosis was provoked, and I think Sosis wanted to get out in front and not be defeated here. This was Sosis, his first world record track ever, #1, and #2, Sosis has never lose his reign ever on this track.
Yeah.
Since August of
and he would still have the record. Like, you see Paul second place. A lot of people start playing this track after Sosis beat the record. But my estimation would have been, if Sosis didn't come back to this record to beat it, no one would have been playing this, and Paul would have, or we'll see the top 10 soon, but the top 10 is way more impressive now than it used to be. So.
Next year, if he remains undefeated, it'll be 8 years of undefeated reign, which is absolutely busted.
That is pretty goated.
So, with that in mind, he just went on an absolute tear. Multiple improvements. And he lands on this 203.5. But he had a massive fail.
Yeah.
Not this run, but up at best on pace.
Yeah, that is probably one of the craziest runs
that
I've seen.
Failed the last turn, lap 3, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure it was going to be a pretty low 203.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, there's definitely more room to improve here, but this track has the most amount of chain wheelies, which is to get a perfect chain wheelie, they get the least amount of time loss is 1 frame timing in a 60 FPS video game.
He said that exact same thing last year and the year before that. It's so funny. 60 FPS video game. He says that, and he uses he starts talking about chains on this category every time. It's so kind of, it's funny, but it makes it's a good it's a good point where to
I would love to compare Paul's
talk about
run,
chains,
but Paul doesn't have his ghost data, unfortunately. So I was actually comparing Steve's time for.
It's unfortunate NMeade has to revisit all these things that we all know, but it's only because of his viewer base. Like, no one really watches high tier TTs. So
there
he has to
was
explain these
a
things every
marker
time.
ghost
But it's
developed
he's
during this
probably
year
doesn't really
that
care.
has a precise alignment where you could get a one shroomer clip.
This is just one of those
with the spear.
grinding categories again. Like it's
That
obviously it's
unlocks
cool that we got 3 for
players
3, but
getting the
you know, because this
very
record is
first
all about the
3
alignment. It
for
can go
3.
way lower, like
I believe
43.9.
Logan was the first 3 for 3.
It's one of the craziest
but he
like
respawned lap
tracks
3.
to get time
But
save
still,
on.
technically, the first 3 for 3 world record, he was the one to meet that mark, which is super impressive. The first one to get a 3 for 3 landing WR
Logan.
is Zoran here.
Wait, no, what?
So you
Oh,
saw
I'm landing.
the
Oh, yeah.
differential there between both ghosts here. But then Zoran was the one that landed 3 for 3. It's absolutely busted.
He didn't have
Look
to
at where
re-hop there.
Zoran was the one that landed 3 for 3.
Actually, what do you guys think? To me, that looks like he didn't have to do that, but
It's absolutely
I don't
Look at where
blame
the
him
best
for
known
doing it.
splits are, man.
Like,
it's over 10 seconds to go, but it's gonna take someone super craft just to go into the marker and go.
Maybe just barely, because you know that crack is
but
kind of
even
crazy,
still, I
Carter. You
cannot
can
believe
just.
that happened during this year.
You think you would have
My
clipped?
wildest
Yeah.
imagination was
I kind of want to. I kind of want to test
getting
that though.
a
But
3 for 3
it's
Sherman
borderline,
Lang
yeah.
glitch WR
Borderline, you're right,
anywhere
but-
near my bingo card for.
I'm
the
not saying
game
it's
in
automatic that he
2024.
didn't have to, but
So yeah, I was just beyond just boggled when I saw those developments for sure. Shy Guy Beach. I think Shy Guy Beach no glitch is going to be the
Improvable.
same tail as Peach Beach no glitch with Casey.
yeah, exactly.
I think Casey got what he wanted here when he got this time. He got
Yeah, of course.
the
Props,
reclaim
props,
from
you know, I don't think
Sosis
anyone's
here.
crazy enough to not re-hop
And,
there. If
I don't think
the
Sosis has
world record's on the
been,
line,
active for a little while after the Sherbet Land time.
maybe
this year.
Logan would have been the only
Actually,
one
no.
to not do it, but that would have been
I
the
think
craziest
Sosis
world record
also
fail
got
if
a
Logan
155 on
messed up
Coconut
something
Ball,
that
I'm pretty sure,
shitty
during this year.
on that part,
But
just because he
I
didn't
don't think he's
re-hop.
played this during this year. Apart from Casey and Sosis at the very top here.
The reason why I say
don't
that is
think-
because out of all the glitch mains, all the glitch players, I would say Logan is the only one to go for risky shit on glitch categories. That's why he's undoubtedly, even still to this day, even though he's not a glitch main anymore, he plays no glitch mostly. He is, in my opinion, still the best glitch player of all time. Yeah.
anyone else has played this track at all this year in the worldwide top 10. There's been no improvements, I should specify. So, improvements can still come on this track for sure. It's getting very hard. I know
This track's kind of a weird one. Like,
when I asked Casey, I think long term he was going to possibly entertain doing the no hop wheelie at the
Yeah.
beginning to not hop over that little puddle there.
all right, good
at
luck,
the
Carter.
beginning.
I believe in you.
But I think so.
But I think they're very hard now, right? They aren't as free as they used to be.
There's still more on
few years
the
back.
horizon here in the future. with some
People have gotten
trying to
better
get
at this
here.
track, which is natural
But, as it
for the
stands
game.
for now,
Yeah. I don't know about your skill, Carter. I'm not sure what your PB is. I haven't watched you play this track, but yeah, once this time gets beaten and everything's 0.6, then yeah, it becomes very difficult for sure. But I'm not saying you can't do it, but
this will probably stay mostly the
we'll see.
same.
We'll see.
That's kind of my
All right, I
prediction
see, I
for the
see.
next year. Hydration break here, folks. Give me a second.
There's slight
Let's
hope
not
for you
miss the action
right
here,
right now
folks,
still,
alright?
for sure.
This was improved in the past year. Let me get my facts straight here for a second.
I think this run is very good. Actually, it is very good. Just look at the world record compared to BKS. That is just wow right there. A lot of people don't actually understand how good this run is compared to the, like, it's actually crazy good
Okay.
for a track
So-
and a category like this.
Vincent gets defeated by Ray.
That must be a new strat right there. The way he did that
Vincent gets defeated by Ray.
that's a new strat, yeah.
Twice.
Looks very good.
And by the way, Ray, shouts to Ray. Ray is a Wii wheel player.
Mm-hmm.
You got that right. He's doing the outside drifting bike glitch strats with
Yeah.
the Wii wheel.
It looked better
Okay, and the
and faster
comparison here.
with this
So Chaz,
vehicle
right.
combo.
You're correct. So,
I'm not
Brave
surprised
proves
if there's
twice
another strat that we don't do
and
with this
Vincent gets
vehicle
this
just to
time
get this
and improves
record
it
even lower,
by
but
a long shot, and clears the first 113 by a country mile. Very impressive stuff here. I think this can stand for a very long time.
yeah.
I don't know what's gonna take to really set people apart to improve this time.
Pretty good
here.
last turn. I'm just gonna double check the wheelie speed.
Set people apart.
Yeah,
improve his time
you can't
here.
get better than that. That's pretty good.
Because the no glitch driving was pristine. The glitch was done very fast. I don't know. Will we see another glitch craze one day here to do more than one lap as a glitch here? I don't know. We shall see. Well, with all that being said,
Well, what does the task do in this track? Is it kind of like the same, or is it completely different? Completely different shit. Probably like some super hopping, but if we exclude the super hopping, would it be the exact same?
this is really unique. I was completely floored when I found out this. Are you guys ready? Let's.
Okay, let me guess. And we're just going to be talking about the fact that this run was set in 2021, and it's one of the oldest records right now. That's probably what he's going to say. I think it would be the same. Yeah. So definitely not 2 for 3 ever happening. We don't know. All right.
Discuss together, shall we, fellas? This time, I did not realize it's
December
over
21.
1,100 days old.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that. This is.
I
over
can
3
believe it
years
because
old.
I remember it was such a long ass time
And
ago when this
This
shit was
is
done.
the first over 1,000 day.
I don't know how much
record.
NMeade rewatches these records, but I do revisit these records a lot. So I definitely do remember like the time periods and shit. So to me, this is not surprising. And it's also not surprising that no one has played this ever since he got this run. Or, Luke hasn't been playing it. Because this run is good. It does get few mistakes, but those mistakes are like... Yeah, it's still very impressive.
Overall, I
for the
think
shit
for
that you have to
Delfino
do in this
Square
track.
as well. And why is Delfino Square so hard?
Mm-hmm.
You may ask. Well, the tail of the dock is interesting.
Gets a drop there.
I think
Unfortunate.
It's
That
by
lost
far
a
one
lot.
of the
Not only did he drop there, he got a massive bounce that made him not be able to accelerate back up to full speed.
interesting.
And also, I don't know if it's strictly what happened, but like right here, when he does this turn, it also wasn't perfect. But that could have also been just because he did mistime the drift. But I think he just kind of lost his muscle memory and, the feel for these turns because of that drop.
I think
Yeah.
it's
He
by
started
far
that
one
way
of
too
the
late, so
hardest
it's unfortunate.
no glitch techniques to do.
Everything else about
Technically,
this run
the
is very
launch
nice,
off
though.
of it
Except the
can
ending.
be
Ending lost
repeatable
probably
to
50 ms, but
some extent, I believe. But if you look so closely at that, where you land, braking, redrifting, and trimming and not crashing, that's where the insanity lies.
mm-hmm.
And 2, it doesn't save that much.
Gets a half and a chain.
So,
That was good
you could
enough. Good enough.
theoretically make the
good
dock,
enough.
save time, but your recovery is way too slow.
Yeah.
You could lose to your no dock.
Uh-huh.
That's how close of a margin it is.
Yeah.
So, the unfortunate thing is, as cool as this is, it's so hard to do. In 3.5 years, only 2 people, the top 2 here, have actually done it in any lap period. And almost this entire
In a PB run, yes. I think there's at least like handful of players who have done this strat ever. But doing it on a PB is next level shit, and I think, yeah, Logan and Luke both get the respect they Really? Oh, okay. Queer does, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, people have done it in runs, but I think, well, that's probably the only exception, Carter. But I think everyone else doesn't have a PB that does this strat. On the top 10 at least. Top 10 runs only. I'm not talking about really bad runs, but like top 10 runs, there's no one else besides these two, and then obviously the one you just mentioned.
In 3.5 years, only 2 people, the top 2 here.
I would say if the run is not a worldwide top run, it's not even worth discussing of like actually being able to make this strat. Like Kenny hasn't done this strat. Kenny could get the record if he ever decided to go for this strat, you know. But a lot of these people have like the bin syndrome on this. We'll check the top 10 after this run.
Any lap, period. And almost this entire top 10 has been dormant for years.
There he lost point. There he lost like at least 50
tracks,
ms.
At least in the first good while of the game's history. But
yeah, yeah. You see, lap 3 can be 40.6. I think he was looking at a 40 lap 3 at least, probably like a 0.9 something, but. The pace is very nice for sure. Pace is very nice.
Done, it's a natural progression of the game, but at the same time,
Lap 2
it's
could
just
have been
so
better,
hard
but
that almost
still
the
good
entire
enough.
top 10 is just so dormant now. It's not really played anymore.
So you see, like this run by Vincent is very impressive too. I'm not sure. Well, obviously Luke still holds the no dock BKT, the low point 2. Swords run. I mean, Sword could have gotten a better run. Casey is pretty good. Kenny hasn't been able to finish a good run on this track yet, but he would be up there with Vincent and Luke's no dock runs, 100%. So I mean, it's like what I was saying earlier. The bin syndrome is very prevalent in this track, where you have a new strat, but none of these players are opting to go for it because it doesn't save much. It seems like Quer is in the top 10, so if he did go for the dock, fair play.
So I think it's going to take forever unless someone finds a really consistent way to have a good recovery afterward. But
yeah.
We shall see in the future.
Pretty good prediction, I would say.
Big things
pretty accurate.
Are cooking.
All right.
Waluigi Stadium.
Oh shit! It's the old one. Ah, damn! I want to see the new one. I don't know if it's been recorded. Someone link me the video of this new record. We'll watch it after this.
Connor has been busy at work on Waluigi Stadium here, making his own WR improvements. He has 275. They got to a busted 108. And now, literally, as I was preparing Ghost Data to record for this video in the past week or so, he gets another improvement.
Yeah.
Off the presses here, fellas. A 148.071.
Mm-hmm.
And this world record is hype because this is the first Waluigi Stadium world record that,
all right, thank you guys.
That has 235.
Someone reminded me that we watched that
which
run
is
after this because I'm gonna forget.
Super busted. And that's such a hard feat to do on this track. But I also want to shout out both Ace and Falco as well, because both of them have been busting out insane laps.
I would say Ace and Falco had the chance, but now that the record's at a 147, dude. Okay, I don't want to assume here, but I do not think that they have the chance to get that kind of run anymore. They're not beating Connor. They had a chance when there was still a high one, back when Connor's run was still a high one, but I think for Falco, since he's never got a world record, I think it means a lot to him, and he's probably one of the only people that is, well, he's probably happy for Connor that he got the goal finally, but I think that really pushes him back, getting his first record. Yeah, I don't want to be mean to anyone. Like it's just like how I see things. I'm more pessimistic than most players when it comes to these predictions, and I do not think that it's no one's going to beat Connor here, at least for a few years.
And paces almost every day, and Falco has failed 45 openers now, which is simply
okay. I guess that's pretty impressive, but just because you fail a lap that could have been something and it actually wasn't like that doesn't mean that you have the chance to get a run that can beat Connor's current record. Also, just because you get a good split doesn't mean that you have the chance to get a record, because you have to get 3 splits, not just one. I think Flam can agree on that, since he gets crazy splits on MG right now, but the record is nowhere near what you could get Flam. Even if your current record didn't fuck up the ending, it still would be it could still go way lower. So yeah. But I know that's kind of an extreme comparison, but at least you get the point what I'm trying to make here. So, all right.
So yeah, there's a lot of talent.
So
here,
one split
with,
doesn't
Ace
mean
playing after the
anything
game.
in this
He's a
track.
former WR
What
holder
does
here.
mean a
He
lot
was
is
the
getting
one that
consistent
defeated
splits
Totem's
here,
legacy
or
long-term
consistent like
staying WR
lap
here.
1 openers.
And Falco has
Good
been
lap
starting up the charts
openers.
here.
That's what
So I'm
matters.
rooting
So if you
for
watch
you
someone
too,
play this
Falco,
track
because that would
and
be
they can
really cool to
they
see,
consistently get good laps,
Falco
good
get his
paces,
first,
then I
world
definitely
record
see someone
on of
improving,
all tracks,
beating Connor. But
this track. Like,
it's not so
imagine
simple,
Falco's
especially in
first
this track, because it's
WRs
one of the
on
hardest
first
tech tracks in the game.
147. That would be super crazy to see. But yeah, there's insane, awesome talent on this track that's active right now. With Connor playing right now, Falco,
I would say that's
Ace.
another
This
good
is
thing
exciting
that it's
times,
active
ladies
at
and
least. You know,
gentlemen,
activity is
Wallaby
always
Stadium
cool.
here. So I think we're going to see multiple improvements by all players, and some of them being WR improvements here.
Okay, I'll only make a prediction of that once I see the corner run. I kind of want to just see how good it actually is, because I don't play this track at this high of a level. So I could be just making shit up, but just from looking from the past, how this track has progressed, it's very hard to just say that, oh shit, 3 people have the chance to get a 147 or the 2 2 2 3
So yeah,
2
I'm very
3.
excited.
You
This
know.
is one of my favorite tracks in the game.
But I
And
might be
winners
wrong. I could be wrong,
here,
because
I
the
get
fact
very
that
hyped for
this
it. So,
world record is
yeah.
being pushed
We
so
shall see what
low,
happens.
and then, well, the rest of the player base has obviously caught up. Like, we finally saw Totem's legendary 148.8 being knocked off from the top 10 by Marvin. So, you know, we see the player base catching up, but these times 4 to 10, no one's even close to this, and even these two aren't even close. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Here. This, I also want to check this.
But I do want to
because
highlight
this
that
is also
Falco has
getting
been
up there with the
improving
days, actually.
very fast and
How
steadily
impressive this
over
world
over this
record is.
past year. So, you know.
Oh, that's so cool. So, oh, interesting. Let's dissect some stats, shall we? Because that's fun. Why not?
All right.
So, Hunter's time here, because you guys don't know, is the first and only 2 for 3
Yeah.
glitch world record here. First off. Second
Really
off,
shitty
it
one,
is the
but
first
it's still a
1,000
legendary
plus
run
day
for
Wallaby
that
Stadium
feat.
glitch world
only.
record, which I didn't realize it was that old already. That's crazy. And third off, to even drive home that point further, the previous longest standing glitch world records on this track didn't even get to 170 days.
Yeah.
And this has stood for over 1,000 days.
Well, it's
So
pretty
that
obvious
just
why,
shows
but
how
yeah.
monstrous of a
I do
feat
not like giving
Hunter's time is
glitch
here.
records the
Like,
same kind of treatment as no glitch
I
when it
still
comes to
cannot
longevity
believe
and
that
stuff.
Hunter actually got this time. Like, dude, if you're watching, man,
So,
proud
you
of
know.
you, dude. This is absolutely crazy feat that was performed. And as far as if it can be improved, I mean, you see the differential there, and that's doing it 3 for 3.
Maybe. I think
But
Flam, the reason why
practicality-
that's your current estimation and NMeade has more of an optimistic view of the track is because right now you're doing this shit by yourself. No one is really at your level yet. And it's only been like how many months? I don't even know, but I assume less than a year. It's been like maybe 6 months. And it's just not enough time to see where the standard could be at. And NMeade likes throwing these very optimistic predictions, as we all know. But sometimes, actually, NMeade doesn't have that bad of a view when it comes to these predictions because he's kind of looking ahead. He's looking more ahead than just 1 year ahead. He's looking like multiple years down the line. So, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And reality of that happening, I don't know. But still, crazy things have happened in Mario Kart Wii. So,
Yeah.
nothing is off the table here. Okay? But still, I just have to emphasize so much that this is one of the absolute most impressive world records set in the game's history so far. So Hunter, if you're watching, man, you're cracked. You're awesome, dude. What an awesome record you have here, man.
Yeah, this. I just want to point out this top 10 is fucking dog shit, and this category in general is dog shit. So yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Desert Hills, no shortcut. We had no improvement in the past year, and
all right, yeah, this run out of one mistake in this run, but this run otherwise is very nice to look at.
I don't remember anyone being particularly active this year near WR pace on this track.
Yeah,
could be wrong, but I didn't see any major activity. I don't think so anyway. But as you can see,
yeah, it was kind of.
There's still a good ways to go compared
for
to
sure.
best on splits.
That mistake lost
Definitely
him a
one
bit.
day, a 133 will happen if someone is super craft enough to do it here. But
this one isn't as good as it could be. Yes, point low 2 looks very nice. This is kind of the same as MMM. No one's at the same standard as Sosis right now. The only reason why this run is so good is because it gets the wheelie cut every lap. Yeah, exactly. You literally just said what I was saying during. Yeah, exactly. The exact same thing with well, I said MMM because it's also Sosis's record, and it's also 0.2, and it can go lower even though it looks cracked. But yeah, the driving is not as pristine as it could be. But he pulls out the strats pretty well, so hats off to that. And it's not a crime to get 3 for 3 like he said in his description, so
the lucky wheelie
still an impressive record.
Is so busted.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't get it, you lose 0.2, 0.3 per one lap. It's that nuts. It's crazy. So with that in mind,
this is kind of the same as the RDS dock, you can go for this strat. I mean, I would say everyone at world record level is going for it every lap, but getting it is a different story, because you can still save it without getting it, but it's so much slower.
For a while. I could be wrong, but I think he did have a long reign here.
Yeah, he did with the 0.3.
Yeah. Sosis is 397. It stood for over 1,100 days. Yeah. I knew it was a long record for sure.
That's the record NMeade's watched every year, pretty sure. Except actually he watched Paul in 2019. But yeah.
For Desert Hills, it's so hard to
every single reaction he's watched the 0.397. But this is nice improvement. And also,
at least in the next year.
Honestly, I want to highlight the fact that Breakson was able to beat that record. It was such a long-lasting record, and it was ahead of its time, and it stood so long. Well, actually, let's see the top 10 here, and
because again, I don't think anyone has really been super active.
Yeah, like Paul M. Paul was second place with Sosa's 0.3, and then you see this 0.5. It's just like next level shit. And Breakson was able to pull through, beat the 0.3, and he was nowhere to be seen. He just grinded the shit out of it and got it. And well, Sosa's got it back with a crazy time now, but yeah, this track is not played as much. So, it should be played more.
Always welcome to some more surprises as the year rolls on, so we shall see. Interesting developments, ladies and gentlemen, on this. So, what you're going to see here is different if you've seen this record in years past. Pop quiz, what's different there?
Oh, I love that movement. It's so clean.
Okay, so if you've seen world records in years past, they get slowed down.
Unfortunate slowdown there.
Drift out of the sand, but now they are. And what I can deduce is they have changed the angle that they're clipping the wall with going inside the tree, and that far clip is allowing them to land close enough to the road where you still have your speed from your clip, but you're still keeping your drift speed to go out to the normal road.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like 50 or 55 kmh or around there, I think, which is the minimum speed you must have to generate a drift. If you go below that speed, you can't generate or maintain a drift.
That's a cracked lap 2, by the way. With the mistakes added, that's still very good. And I think, I believe, yeah, it seems like he has highlighted the splits without a lucky glitch. I might be wrong when I say that, but well, they don't do the lucky glitch. Now they do this new strat where they like drift on the off-road and keep their speed. So with that strat, this is very good.
Just the minimum speed.
Even with the mistakes that he got, it's still very good.
If you go below that speed, you can't generate or maintain a drift.
Because that's a 128 split, essentially.
With that in mind, to my surprise, but also not a surprise, but the best known splits now, those aren't what the quote-unquote lucky bounce cut.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually what the
I don't know
cut,
about the lap 3 though. If you guys look at, I'm sorry, I'm going backwards, but I have to highlight this. This is kind of crazy. If you get lap 3, you know, Justin got the lucky glitch, you know, that saved his run. So is that what they have to go for in order to not having to deal with these? Because
with that speed, you can't generate or maintain a drift. So with that in mind, to my surprise, but also not a surprise, but the best known splits now, those aren't what the quote-unquote lucky bounce cut anymore.
Yeah.
It's actually what this drifting cut, which is really, really useful. But still, the players here are pace locked by the fireballs when you land lap 3. But look at how busted of a pace that already was here with Brixton's record here. But I think for sure, long term, I think someone can definitely bust out a mid 129 right from this 130.4.
Didn't know Arbo was 10th.
If they just have a busted time, they manage the fireballs on lap 3. But yeah, that'll be exciting times in the future for sure when that eventually happens.
All right.
Here we are now on BC3, no shortcut, and we had an improvement here.
The lap 2 is insane.
Luke. And I think that Luke is actually going to go for a 215 here.
That's correct.
I'm pretty sure.
But I'm actually not surprised.
And the best splits give it by a decent amount. And I will say once more just to highlight things that people may not know. So Luke uses the Wiimote and Nunchuck.
Yeah.
In case you guys are new, Wiimote,
okay, he's bringing up the same argument he brought up like a few years ago where he was saying how Nunchuck, it's hard to get good lows and also control the tricks. But I wouldn't say that's right. On this track, you just have to get used to the way you do the input with a Nunchuck on this track. I wouldn't say that's really... maybe 2 years ago you can give that a pass, but not anymore. Like, you just have to get more precise with your, Nunchuck inputs. But... yeah, I'm not going to be pessimistic about this one. I would say 215 definitely doable since the splits are this good. This is by the way, this is second BKS total that has 0.666. I think there was one earlier with this exact same. I think it was Warriors Goldmine. BKS splits give 666. That's kind of cursed, but yeah, this one no doubt Luke can get it. I don't know if there's anyone else currently. I think easier. Really? I mean, I would just say, because I'm a classic user, pressing the left input isn't like, it's just pressing it. So I would say it's easier for a classic user, but I still wouldn't say that Nunchuck it's like hard. GCN is also kind of that, where people tend to get the wrong tricks. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say, because I don't have the experience. I don't have the knowledge, but I'm just saying that in 2024, getting the wrong trick is just not an excuse because of what controller you use. You just kind of have to get used to it. Yeah, exactly.
Actual motion control.
Exactly, yeah.
So
exactly.
Nunchuck is not motion control, but the Wiimote is. And so for tricking and also doing wheelies and everything, you have to flick the Wii remote. And so why I'm bringing all that up is because...
like, NMeade is giving this... So, like, me and NMeade, we're kind of in the same boat. NMeade is giving his argument as non-Nunchuck user, and I'm giving my argument as a non-Nunchuck user. So we're kind of in the same we need someone that like we need Luke himself to comment on that. And I would want Luke to comment on something that's not he's not giving excuses, he's being realistic about it, you know.
This is such a hard TT for Wiimote nunchuck users, where it's so
Don't
many
have that command.
flicking,
Sorry.
with the motion and the input on the 5 low jumps here, because you're trick wheelie, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
And also too, in case you guys, I try to.
Those were some cracked lows,
assume
except
there's
the last
also
one.
a newer audience that
This
maybe
lap 2 is
don't
very
TT
good.
as much, or maybe haven't watched a game
Look at this.
play like this ever in their lives.
Look at that.
But
It's
still, you're hopping
good.
to start lower airtime and you're tricking. And you're trying to get as low as possible.
really good
on
shroom
the
too.
platform
This
as
is the
soon as
crazy part. This
possible,
is the
and
BKS lap
release
2,
your
and
at
look at
full
this. He
speed
gets a
for as
half.
long as possible. That was
Gets
not
a half
good.
right
Sorry.
there.
Anyway, so they get
And
your
it's a
back
0.1.
wheel
That
to
is just
land
so
as soon as
insane.
possible. Either a right or a left side trick is preferred, and to twist your wrist.
Oh
and to
wow,
do
it's
the
not even the BKS anymore. I had no idea. Okay, I'm stupid, but
Wiimote
I mean it's
motion
very
with all of
close to
that,
BKS, you know.
Is so
That would be
hard to
BKS
do for
with
Wiimote
double chain,
nunchuck
so.
users. So this was really gate kept for a while.
A few good lows.
For both classic
Like two
and GCN players,
medium
because
ones.
It was just too much for Wiimote nunchuck players. But
Lap
hats
3
off
he
to
gets a
Luke
pretty
for
good
really
low
just
as well.
pushing the bounds here, because that's just so hard
Gets
to
a
do
half.
to use that controller.
That
set.
half actually matters now,
So,
which is funny.
For sure, I think a 215 will definitely happen in the next year. I think either by
Yeah,
Luke, Logan,
unfortunate,
I don't
but,
think,
you know.
Akiza has been playing
Goated
all these
run,
days,
goated run.
unfortunately, because he.
Wait, he was talking about Kenny.
Luke, Logan. I don't think Akiza has
Kenny.
been playing at all these days.
Yeah. Well, no, that's not true. Kenny still plays, but he's not putting. This is just my experience how I've perceived Kenny over the years. He's kind of, well, he has quit the game essentially to not push for world records, but you know he still plays and he just doesn't put enough effort because he has also a very pessimistic, you know. We would see this like about Luke about a year back, 2 years back. Luke would, you know, complain a lot about different things, you know. So Kenny has kind of been doing that same thing. It's kind of annoying, but yeah, no, he still plays, but yeah, he will have to go for this strat 3 for 3 unfortunately to get the record back. Actually, not true. He could do 2 for 3 and still get it. Because it wasn't his literally the run that he got. That missed double chain at the end. If he got double chain, he would literally get a time like this, right? It would literally be a 0.1 with only one low. So that run is more cracked than what it seems like. This run is also very cracked, but he gets a drop, so it's...
Fortunately, because he also had WR pace into the straight, but he didn't get the chains.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is what that 4-2-1 is there.
Yeah, this run right here. It would literally be close. It would literally be tied with this one almost if got the double chain, but that's besides the point. I think, yes, if Kenny fully commits to BC3, he can have a chance for a WR right now. Maybe not a 215, but I think he can beat this and get his first record, which I really want to see. Nick is live with... Okay, that's cool. I'll raid him after the stream probably, but... Alright, let's keep going. We still got like...
Yeah, I think the first two
handful of
definitely happen
tracks
in the
left.
next year, so that'll be an exciting feat to anticipate for sure. Now, this will also be a category that I think will also get an improvement in the coming year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For the reason
By
being,
Noah.
for second worldwide being Noah. So
Alright.
Logan had the absolute most insane lead for a long time after gaining this world record here. Like, I still can't believe Logan's first 3 for 3. First off, they did it, but second off, it was as strong as it has been, because it wasn't just getting a 3 for 3 and having bad driving. It was 3 for 3, very solid driving, getting some chains in there. As the first 3 for 3 ever.
Yes. I would say for 2020, I think it was 2022. For those standards, understandable what Emi is saying here. Like, he had good driving, he had chains. So overall, it was a good run, and it was a good run for the time. But the more I've seen Noah play this track, I realized how bad this run is. Like, it's nowhere near what they can do now, what Noah can do. You know, these splits, Noah has all of these, I think. So you just see the run right there. It's like so much time save. The shroomless no stop is not only like a obstacle now. It's actually part of the game. It's part of the track now. It's not even that hard for Noah to do. So now it just literally comes down to driving and, you know, how well you can do the recovery after because this recovery right here, he loses so much time by doing this.
And having bad driving. It was 3 for 3.
That lost so much time. Driving. And Noah would never, I would say when I watch Noah play this, he doesn't get that kind of recovery ever. He always gets a pretty good one. So, you know, this run is bad. It is objectively bad right now. Even I wouldn't say that was bad, but when I watch Noah, I would, you know, I could tell that it's bad. So.
Getting some chains in there.
It was never that game-breaking of a run that people thought it was. It was funny because Logan was the only one when he said that run that, nah, someone's going to hit a 3 for 3. It's not that crazy, you know? And Logan is so... whatever he said was so true because, like, Noah is almost there. He's just not had the run yet, but he's there. So.
Maybe in one of his video descriptions, perhaps.
Don't you ever disrespect the 155.
Noah has been hard.
I'm just being realistic, Smode.
Category,
you can disagree if you want, but
had a run
you are probably more wrong than you think.
Ahead, but then he got really bad chains at the end. I think so. Might be this current 957
yeah, well,
possible.
Obviously Logan made it possible, but
a very high
I think it's not as game breaking as you think because I believe Noah had a pace that was going to beat the current world record when Emil still had it. He was going to get a 155 before Logan even got his 155. So it's Logan wasn't even the only one to have the chance to get this kind of time in 2022. But since he was so much ahead of the whole pack for so long, everyone thought it was a good run, even though right now it's not good. And he even wasn't that good in 2022. But it's only because no one played the category that actively.
Maybe it was that one. Now he has his midpoint 9. But still, I think Logan's 3 for 3 here is still one of the most impressive WRs ever set because to do a 3 for 3 shroomless cut, man, I'm telling you, if you don't understand what goes into
I disagree
doing
with that statement.
And only so many words, that's just too crazy. Like the fact that
another really bad no stop ultra right there.
Works, and someone got a 3 for 3, and now
Noah's main issue is the chains, but he's getting better. So
nothing short of completely remarkable, honestly. But yeah, with that in mind, I think this will definitely go down to at least some form of improvement during next year. And I think Noah might be the one to do the job here, because unless provoked, I don't think Logan will go out of his way to improve this. I think he wants to be improving all their time.
Yeah. Noah can get up mid 155. Logan could improve this, but it's kind of a question mark because Logan's run was a little bit birthday at the time. And if he hasn't been grinding this track ever since, he would have to relearn the way he does the no stop ultra. He's just not as good as Noah when it comes to just doing the strat. But overall, his game knowledge is better than Noah's. Like his driving, chains, all those things, Logan got that going for him. So for Logan, it was mostly just getting the 3 for 3. And that's it. For Noah, right now it's just that he needs to drive better. He needs to get better driving. Because he got the no stop ultra. He has that shit. Logan has a 2:16.2 on no glitch. I don't know what Noah's no glitch time is. I doubt it's a 2:16, probably like a mid 2:17, maybe a low 2:17. Like Noah's driving is not the same as Logan's. So they're very different players, but they have the same kind of potential.
I would imagine before doing this, who knows? But yeah, I think next year might be Noah's time to...
Smode, I'm not disrespecting the world record. You're putting words in my mouth.
Okay. Alright. Had to hydrate some more. Parkway.
I'm just pointing out
a very small improvement,
that it's not as
but an
impressive as
improvement
people
nonetheless
think.
during this year.
And it's understandable because not
And,
everyone knows how
Luke
good
improved
Noah is
upon
on
his
that track.
own world record during this past year. And there's
It
still
is
some
overrated. It is overrated. I'm sorry, but it is. Even I was one of the people who thought it was fucking game breaking.
gap for the best
Until I learned more about the track and
to my memory,
and how good Noah is.
I'm pretty
Maybe I'm
sure
glazing
no one
Noah here,
else
but
has exactly been very active on this track.
doesn't really matter. Luke,
Nugget
Luke's 0.5 is good here.
improved actually on worldwide tops? Let me see.
Was he talking about Nugget there?
I think it was actually Jung Woo. I think Jung Woo improved in the past year, I think. And when I saw the ghost data, he actually used Nunchuck for it, not Wii Wheel, I'm pretty sure. It's actually pretty impressive. He's top notch at Wii Chuck now. That's really cool. I'm still rooting
Don't
for
have
Felix,
much to
though,
say about this
but
track in this
I don't know how
category.
active
It's pretty hard,
Felix
but
has been these days.
if you're good like
Felix
Luke,
is still
you can
third
drive this
worldwide
track,
here.
no issue.
Has a 210.9. So he's still within striking distance, for sure. But I don't think Logan has played this since he set this record overall.
Yeah. I don't want to disrespect. I'm not actually. I'm just not gonna even use that word because it's not disrespecting. I don't want to be mean to Logan, but what you often see about Logan, he likes going for records that he hasn't gotten before, like unique tracks. He's one of the only players to do that kind of grinding in this game, which is impressive. But he doesn't really grind the track to a high standard. He just kind of grinds it to get that record, and that's that, you know. He has his good tracks though, don't get me wrong, but for a record like this one, it was kind of just getting a record. I'm not sure did he actually get a multiple records or just this one, but yeah, he just kind of wanted to get a record on these tracks. He's not had a record on this track before. But Luke, because he has had many records on this track before, I think the fact that Luke has the 0.5 and still can go for a lower like 0.3, very doable, then, you know, there's a big difference between these two players here.
But I think still more to come here. I think definitely long term the BKS is going to give a 209. And even more to that end, I think 209 will definitely happen here in this category long term. But still, I love this track. Like, time trials here are so nice. That was also a pretty crazy little slope landing that he got.
What
That's
the
pretty important.
fuck was that? Did that lose time?
Nice. That was also a pretty crazy little slope landing that he got. That's pretty.
If he got that wheelie out there, that would have actually probably been like about equal, maybe even a little bit faster. He lost time with the wheelie, but
are so nice. That was also a pretty crazy little slope landing that he got.
Actually, he did drop speed. I think that was about equal, but he did lose time
yeah.
there overall because of the
Might be a
wheelie
broken
miss.
record for some, but some of you may be new here. This shroom spot sucks. It's horrible. No other way to say it. And this is a brand new version of the shroom that happened in years past. The old shroom strategy sucks. Still sucks. It's horrible. So it's the most unfortunate thing for this track because the track is a lot of fun to play. But with that in mind,
Nice pace. Good
this
pace for
shroom
sure.
spot, it deters a lot of players, unfortunately.
He's had a lot of good paces on
But,
this track,
yeah.
so that's not the only good one, but
As far as more improvements in the coming year, possible. We shall see.
Nordic player
I
Casper
believe
getting 10th worldwide. Respect,
This
respect.
is the last alternative category I'm including in this video. Another requested one for a while. So let's kind of go over the history of
Interesting he
Jungle
includes
Park
this
League.
run.
Next up, you're going to see the glitch category, the actual glitch category. But beforehand, the shortcut / glitch category was considered this. Because that whole railing shortcut happened first. The thing is, too, is it's pretty sketch. Because where the whole checkpoints are, if you cut the spiral too tight on the spiral scheme,
Yeah, you're
you
right,
turn around
Carter.
too
I would say in
early.
2024, this is the most irrelevant category out of all categories. But it's still like you can't not. Yeah, It's still a category to mention for sure because of the history behind it, you know. So it's, yeah.
Early.
Yeah, basically no glitch, but worse.
So it's
yeah.
very.
This is kind of like RDS dock, kind of, but easier than dock and not as strong because no one plays it. Obviously, no one plays RDS dock either, but yeah, they're very similar but very different.
Finicky like that. But then eventually there was
the dock skip. Yeah, exactly, the dock.
With this being glitched. And then that became the primary glitch category. And then the primary and no glitch category became no spiral skip. And then spiral skip has just been kind of shelved for a very long period of time. Players still play it here and there, but it's not a primary category for Parkway.
Yeah.
But still, it was really cool when spiral skip was first happening. I'm actually going to shout out older players that actually had spiral skip.
Okay, let me think. Who are the people who had spiral skip records before NMeade's going to say the names? I think, well, obviously Thomas, Luke, Yasha, Marco, there weren't many. It's less than 10, but I can't remember all of them. So it's like probably less than 5. It's probably like 5 or 6.
World records here. Let me get to it really quick. Spiral skip WRs. Marco was the first one. Shouts to Marco.
Yeah.
Marco, King Alex, Neo. Shouts to Neo as well. Yasha, Thomas. Sorry, I've been talking for a long time, and I had a long day at work. Oh my god, I've been talking a lot, and I'm a little bit sick. Anyway,
no worries.
With that in mind, it's had some hands trading in years past, but yeah, I think it's still cool just to try and give this the spotlight a little bit, you know. But
okay,
yeah,
that is very fucked.
Give
like,
this the spotlight a little bit, you know. I think it's still cool just to try.
It makes no sense to like. I mean, yeah. Well, Luke definitely knew when he released that empty that he wasn't getting 95 kmh wheelie at the end. So whatever he was doing, he might have tried some kind of backup there, and he failed the backup as well. So double fail, but you know the category is very relevant, Luke so understandable. He doesn't give a fuck.
At the end of lap 3 there, unfortunately. So. Clearly, this category has so much left to go.
I don't know if that was a 208 fail. I don't think it was. Probably like a 0.1 fail.
But it's not really played too much. But even still, that's what it is currently there for the...
I think Luke could get a 208 one try pretty much. But not one try, but like one day of trying, he could probably get a 208. But outside of that, 207, why the fuck would anyone go for that? No reason.
Shortcut spiral skip category of Parkway. Now, we have the glitch category, and this was absolutely crazy. So, again, I'm looking at all the live stats here, fellas. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these videos as of late. And the most accurate statistics
don't have
here
anything
to
say about this one.
Invincible was the one that improved upon his own world record, improved by almost a full second. His former WR lasted over 1,000 days. And then Core finally pulled through here, and this has stood for 184 days so far. I actually want to see. So Invincible has had a very long reign here on the glitch. Still holds that record there overall. But Core got it for the first time ever. Bring it back to Yoshi, and had a massive improvement here. So cut the first 40 and 39 with one improvement. So this went from a 41.05 to this 38.878. Completely busted time. There's still more to cut, obviously looking at the BKS from before. But yeah. It was just really crazy that you know, Invincible came back out of nowhere and improved this time. But then Core got it by such a large margin that was not expected whatsoever. So
all right.
Yeah. For
Goated
GCN,
run.
Mario
I know this
Circuit,
run
there was
is not as impressive anymore, but he definitely like. Well, now everyone could argue that now this run sucks because obviously it can be way lower. But honestly, I think there's a difference between this run and the BC 3 for 3 shortcut run. This run is actually crazy because of the. I guess it's the same kind of story, really. Yeah. Well, it can be improved now. It's not. It was definitely eye-opening to see how low the world record could get when this run was set. Because Luke had a 0.5, and it seemed like that was pretty good at the time. But when Logan got this run, it's now definitely like a door that opened for a 129 no glitch that can happen. And I don't know, Big Bork, how close. I mean, his run literally should have beat this. But I don't know how close we are at a 129 RTA. Has there like been paces? Like what's going on with it? But yeah, next year it could happen by Big Bork, I think, if Logan doesn't play it.
There's no world record improvement in either category.
And it probably will happen.
This year.
It will happen at some point, but
and
maybe not next year.
I think maybe there could be an improvement in next year, at least on the no glitch category of this track. I think
what's the bit with those wheelie turns?
Logan playing again. Big Bork
this pace is definitely really good.
Luke,
I don't know if it's the best pace, but it's a good ass pace
strategy.
for sure.
I don't know if Luke ever entertained trying to learn the mounts here at all, but
I don't think he did. Yeah.
Luke had the WR. I think it was a 135.12. I'm pretty sure it was a really sick time.
Yeah.
And then it got defeated with the mounts being implemented, but I'm waiting for someone to finally just like grind this to the ground and get the first 129, because now that the mounts are being
Big Bork
used,
lost so much there.
Reach that
wow. Okay.
status.
Wait, is that a tied best known pace? Someone tell me if that's a tied best known pace, because
it can
0-0-0. Hello, like
that
it's literally tied. Is that tied, or is there a better run that Big Bork's had? Maybe there is. Wouldn't be surprised if Big Bork's had a 29-29 pace. 29 lap 1, 29 lap 2. You know.
29 status. And those three players can definitely do it and all have what it takes to get the first 129 here.
Read the info.
Overall,
There is no
top 10.
there is no best known pace. No, there's no best known pace in the info. I'm asking for a best known pace, not a best known split. I know the splits are a bit faster, but getting two of those 29 BKS laps in one run is insane. You just getting one is crazy, but getting two, that's next levels. So I don't know. I do remember Logan's. That would be the best known pace when he set the run, and Big Bork's current PB ties it. But yeah, I think Big Bork might have a better best known pace. I don't know.
He caught up in recent years. I think.
Well, the difference between I'm not even gonna explain. It's pretty obvious.
130.9, and when I was constructing, so in case you guys don't know, there's a tool where you can make custom Nintendo.
Someone in
top
chat can
10s,
tell Smooth.
And I make that for every single track in this video. It takes a very long time, but makes it look way
nice
cooler
ending.
for you guys to watch.
Ending saved his run.
Um,
Still an impressive lap 3 considering no double mounts.
Demon's first 130 WR is a 965. Is off worldwide tops now. I didn't know that was a thing either. So yeah.
Did you know, NMeade, that your own time is not in the worldwide tops either? Holy shit. Nah, for real. I think the player base has caught up now. I'm not sure how many of these players. Some of these are kind of old. I'm not sure how many of these times or these players, how many of them go for the double mounts. Yeah, like if I had to guess, maybe like Steve or Dev go for it 1-2 times maybe. But yeah, this top 10 is kind of stagnant, although the lower placement players have caught up. So, you know, it's cool that it's a 130 all the way through, but I would say at this point we kind of want to see at least 0.5 at 10th, and you know, from there on out it's like world record should be at 129.9, kind of like that. That would be more, you know, the standard of this track right now.
Legacy WR.
But I'm not
off the
surprised
worldwide
why
tops now.
it hasn't been
But,
improved, because
we
it is
shall
a
see
very
what that
hard category.
delivers in the following year.
Big Borg's probably gonna get
Now,
the record this next year.
As you guys are going to see, second place is N/A because no one else has pulled this off and actually
Should be Big
beat
Pork.
their personal best. No list driving.
Yeah.
This is another tale where I love this cut. It looks completely insane and it's so satisfying where you can actually
Doesn't
go
save
over
shit,
that gap
though.
there.
Barely saves anything.
The thing is it saves almost nothing
Yeah.
compared to not doing it.
It's even
That's
worse than
sad
the dock
thing.
on
If this
RDS.
saved,
Way
like,
worse.
20 seconds a lap or whatever, that would be really cool. But if you're no glitch driving on laps 2 and 3 and it's too slow, you're not going to improve your time.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's brutal, man. This is a very like peculiar.
Not a fan of one-person categories, hot take. So rather than this, Carter, I think we have few like... I'm just going to pause the video and we'll discuss this for a bit. I think the only... So we have few solutions to this. One is we keep it as it is, which I think right now is probably the best way. Other way would be that we make this no glitch, and then this will just sit as the world record, and Big Borg's gonna have a really hard time beating this. And third option is that we what's the third option? We don't have this. We like kind of well, we can't really ban it, but yeah. I would say banning that would make no sense. So we would only have one category, and would be the no glitch category. So that's, yeah. I think I would, out of all those three options, it's like the current one is the best, and that's probably, you're probably gonna agree on that. It's just like it's kind of annoying to have the same person has two world records on track because of one strat that only this Logan does, you know. So I guess the main question here is does Logan deserve to have two world records on this track right now, as it is with this shit?
Glitch category. Yeah. So, with that in mind, I don't know if Logan ever bothered to play this after getting the 129. Exactly. But apart from that, I don't know anyone else that's really going out of the way to play this.
No.
I would think
maybe
if
Justin tried it.
Time cut possible for doing 1 for 3, it would be more popular. But I think at this point, maybe it's more practical that someone beats Logan with a 2 for 3. Now, who's going to actually bother to go out of the way to slave
Dude, he
away
went for the
this
fucking double mounts in this shit. So funny.
Now, who's going to actually bother to go out of the way to slave
I'm not sure if that actually
this
saved any time.
glitch and do it 2 for 3. This
Goated
crazy
ending
clip
still.
off the wall. I don't know.
Nice way to clutch
if
it up.
You guys can't tell, there's a giant invisible barrier from what I've been told, and you need massive height, and to go far enough and land properly is so hard to do. So with that,
it's such an unpractical category that you would just be better off doing what Big Borg's doing, getting the 129 legit, the legit way, which is no glitch, you know, no BS strats.
That in mind, I don't know, man. I think that.
But I do respect the fact that Logan grinded for such a weird category to make this its own category, even though it's not considered its own category in MKL, but in MKWRS it is, and you know, that's just to anyone who grinds a track and makes a unique category. That's like what I find really cool about some of these tracks and players.
Last cup. But there's been some exciting...
He could like could literally get 2 world records at once, you know. Big Borg could become a multi-world record holder with just one record. How crazy would that sound?
Developments on almost every track and category here. MC3 has had multiple improvements here. So things are really shaking up here on MC3. So let me get my facts straight again on MC3.
What the fuck was that MT really? That wheelie.
Let me get my facts straight again on MC3.
Ooh.
Let's see.
That's rough, but
yeah,
that's probably the only mistake we'll see.
Casey gets MC3 for the first time ever for himself this year. And then Luke reclaims it and improves it once more to an A21. So what's interesting is this. So Luke had an A43, Casey gets an A40, and I believe Vincent got an 841. Vincent picked this up again this year, and he missed WR by 1 freaking millisecond.
Yeah.
And then,
Vincent had it though. He had it in the
reclaims
past, but yeah, Vincent needs to step up
milliseconds,
now if he wants to
and
get
then he
it back.
pushes it by 10 more to the 821 here. Now, second worldwide, Casey recently got this time an 827, almost got it back. And look at this comparison here.
Such a cool rivalry.
They're basically neck and neck at the shroom, and then Luke just ever so slightly gets the edge here and retains WR here. So crazy, man. Like,
Yeah.
I think Mario Circuit 3, one of the most gratifying tracks to play and to watch. So graceful.
But I would say what's even more crazy is that the BKS splits are this fast. Like this time, as much as it looks good, it's actually not even close to being one of the strongest times right now. It's actually one of the, well, it's not the worst or anything like that, but for a track that's pure skill, pure driving, yeah, it's not as good as it used to be. Like in the past, these splits would literally be this. This would literally be the best splits when Luke had what, like a 0.889. The splits wouldn't even give a 0.7. That time period, that run was considered way better than this one right now. I don't know what the heck happened. How did these players just start saving so much time in this track, even though the strats are the exact same after a few years back? Like, it's weird, but it just happens. I think it's the rivalry. I think that's the main reason. We just got 3 players that were handing the record, and we just start them seeing like they started committing more into this track than what most tracks, most no glitch categories will get. That kind of treatment, you know. I would want to see that kind of treatment on every no glitch category, but you know, this track probably shows it the best right now.
But
like how
the
skill improved, even though the strats are the exact same.
By 1 millisecond. So crazy stuff. But
Tyler's still in 10th. That's I don't think that's the 20. That's like a newer time, but yeah, it's cool. That's not his 2013 run though, so it's actually not that crazy.
But I think the story of MC3 does not stop there, and I think that MC3 gets more improvements next year.
Agreed.
To the first 0.7. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I agree.
Next prediction. I think this track also goes down next year.
That's only a maybe. It's only a maybe.
May go back to playing this track intermittently and get another improvement here.
And I'll tell more why.
I think Casey still has unfinished business on this track.
I agree with that.
If I were to imagine anything, I think Casey wants a better time overall here.
For sure.
Speaking of Vincent as well, he had a lot of WR fails here historically in the past. I think
really?
Vincent can still contend here.
Did Vincent have record potential with the spear, or is he just like saying historically, like as you know, the flame strat?
Also give Casey a run for his money here. But for now, as it stands, it's still cool that the former WR with King Alex with the spear automatic still stands at second place. So one of the craziest comparisons first off, but second off, just the overall WR history here is just bananas. Like spear manual goes to spear auto, back to spear manual, back to spear auto, and then flame runner manual. Like, what in the world? Like, I still
it's kind of crazy. Yeah,
this happened when it did, because this was just like a fun alternative category to play. But now it's the actual fastest thing to do. All the new strats. But yeah. With that in mind, I think this has more to go. And for those that are uninformed, unfortunately, Spear Automatic is pace locked by the Chain Chomp on their own.
I wouldn't say that's unfortunate. I think it deserves that because I think Spear Auto is kind of a weird ass category. It's such a unique time trial, but I hate unique time trials. I rather just prefer the Flame Runner, you know, that's being used everywhere. because it is the fastest for most tracks, and it should be. I guess it's cool that we have these niche categories, but I do prefer just watching pure Flame Runner gameplay. You know. The reason why I say it's not probably going to be improved this year is because there's really no reason for Casey to play this. Why would he play this track? He is so much ahead right now. Let's see who was the second fastest. I think it's Vincent, and it's not even 148. So
we'll see what happens.
158. Or it's actually Logan. Okay. Yeah, like either Logan or Vincent have to get to this level, and then I think Casey's going to come back. And even though Casey says that he wants to improve it, there's really no reason to do that. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of crazy to see a point. Low 3 is now 10th, and not only this, like everyone in this top 10 has caught up quite a bit. So that's cool to see. Because, you know, you would see this top 10 be very stagnant for many years. 0.5, 0.6, like, would be 10th, stuff like that. You know. Respect to Luke for also being this high. And for the fact that he was kind of the first one to dabble with Flame Runner on this track. You know, to get the world record back with Flame. When he... I might get this wrong, but in 2018 he set a 159.5, and that was 3rd worldwide. So he was already kind of showing that yes, Flame Runner can be good, but since Luke in 2018 was like the goat of Flame Runner, he was the only the king of super softing, the king of soft drifting. No one was really even close to his level, but now that the player base has gotten so much better over the past 6 years. Yeah, I'm not surprised that we see this finally, but yeah, respect to Luke for being that good back then.
Happens here down the line in the future, right? But
really, did you watch Luke's streams in 2018?
Now to DK Summit. Wow. DK Mountain, no shortcut. This has not been improved.
This is an interesting category.
Not only this year, but for quite a while in general. This is one of those tracks where logistically this is very strong because it only uses one mini turbo shortcut, which is really impressive. Now the
one more thing to add to the Luke thing, when he got that time in 2018, I believe no one had sub 2 minutes back then on Flame. So just think about that for a second. He gets a 0.5. And the second best time, I remember, it was probably David or freaking, it might have actually been, I think it was Jared actually. Someone got the sub 2 minutes in like 2020. But imagine just like the second player gets sub 2 minutes in 2020, 2 years after Luke got his 0.5, that was 3rd worldwide. Like no one was even close to Flame, and no one even thought that Flame could be that good besides... Like, oh, well, Luke's just good, so, you know, I'm just going to get to his level. But actually, Flame had so much potential in RPG.
Part is this can still be beaten without any mini turbo shortcut, which you'll see what that is in the Ghost replay here. But it's a super hard strategy to do. There's a reason why it's only been done 1 for 3 for this many years now.
Yeah.
But on a craft run,
this run is still very good.
Squeak out WR not using it.
It's getting a little old for obvious reasons, but
and
Logan has
BKS
good driving on this track.
2 or 3.9, but I'm pretty sure like that's gonna go down by quite a bit.
What are the best splits without the MT strat? What can you realistically, what kind of splits total you can see with getting no MT cut every lap? I don't know if these are the splits. Yeah,
3
not sure.
Cut.
I don't think they are.
In my eyes, I think on the one hand this is very strong for a 1 for 3, but it's also still a little bit wide open for someone to swoop in and then get like a 2 for 3.
Right there, that section he lost so much time.
Still a little bit
so first of all, he gets this weird bounce where he I don't actually know exactly what happens there. Like, did he re-wheelie or?
Still a little bit wide open for someone to swoop in.
But his speed is so slow. It's probably because NMeade has the regular. He has the regular speedometer. I wonder what that would show if it was the XYZ speedometer, but he loses time there. And then here, he also doesn't get the air with the TF input, so he gets a very bad landing, and he's not at full speed when he lands. So that section was a lot. But other than that, I think everything else about this run is pretty good.
Very hard to do,
so he goes for that strat, probably because he lost so much time prior to that. But
and the recovery drift is really hard because you can make that.
It's still a 0.3, which is just funny. So close to BKS, even though it lost so much time.
Before the last turn where you just lose your run. But I think this is still open for other top DK Mountain players to swoop in and to bag a WR here by like 0.2, 0.3 or something like that.
Maybe.
But still, like this
would like to see the activity first before claiming that, but
throwing in the MT cut is even more of a challenge for sure. But yeah, multiple players are very talented.
Nice regular cut right there.
Again,
nice MT wheelie, and ending looks pretty good.
DK Mountain worldwide top 10 players, they come out of the woodwork with a 2 for 3 and get like a 204.3 or something like that. Yeah, for now, still, that's a really impressive run overall still. Very strong 1 for 3 by far. But yeah, we'll see what delivers here.
I definitely want to see I definitely want to see the top 10 improve. Like I would say like what Anphasis time is right now. This is the kind of time I'd like to see in 10th place, you know, and everyone else just be faster.
Now we are going to the
a lot of these names are very OG. A lot of these players haven't played this track in a long time.
And I think this is not as likely to be improved compared to the no shortcut time. I could be wrong. Let me see.
Not too sure either. Honestly, this is like one of the tracks I don't really watch. So
I think the last improvement on this top 10 was possibly Spitfire's time. I'm going to open this ghost data. What's the date on this?
Like the last player that was not Logan?
It's taking a long time to load the ghost data, but as I wait for that, all to say, this has been a very dormant...
Wait, okay, let me just backtrack. I just want to hear what the heck Envy was saying there.
I think the last improvement on this top 10 was top 10 for quite a while. Yeah,
that
so Spitfire
makes sense.
158.825 July of last year, 2023. I don't think anyone else has been active this year or longer on this category. So another dormant
not gonna say anything because I don't know.
So with that in mind,
I like this MT strat. It's cool. Logan pioneered that one as well.
During the coming year. But as you can see, though, the discrepancy versus BKS is quite large. And the primary reason is the bridge at the end. So you have to use your mushroom, obviously, for the shortcut through the wall.
Yeah.
But doing the bridge shroomless, if you get lucky, minimal to no bounces, you get a chain wheelie, and don't lose any time at all with a perfect alignment, you are literally saving, like, no exaggeration, like probably 0.3 per lap.
That's true.
Stupid, but we have all the bounces. You can't
there's one but.
Your wheelie at all, and you're stuttering your
Let's see what he gets here.
At the top speed.
I think he gets a half there. Might be wrong, but he gets a...
That loses a load of time. So if you get...
I don't know. I've watched this run so many times, and every time I look at it, this is the one thing I'm not too sure what Logan... I would like to hear Logan's comment on this.
As you can see, though...
But on lap 1 and lap 2, I don't know... Well, we can see if he goes for the chain. He does try to go for it, but... Yeah, I guess he just misses it. I guess he just... Yeah, it's just a QM. But whatever he does here is actually not terrible, where he... You know, he drops the wheelie and... starts the wheelie after that bridge. And so his wheelie, he can chain here still, or, you know, re-wheelie, and then do that strat. I don't know, is that any different if you get the chain earlier, you have to re-wheelie earlier? It's still probably way faster, but what he does there like that, backup strat, it's still pretty good, I'd say. But
So yeah, three.
he's not intentionally
If you get
not
super
trying to
lucky
chain,
on
but
that
he's
all
like
3 laps,
the way he
you're gonna crush the record.
is pretty slow for
But
sure.
I
Yeah,
know
I don't
people
know.
have done like a
Pretty shitty.
rechain MT strategy to wheelie with an MT onto the bridge. I think that's very hard to
Big
do
Cheese
because
in
the window
fourth.
to saw drift is very small.
Not sure
But
was Big Cheese ever
we
second
shall see
place,
what
but
happens here in the future.
he did grind for world record
The last
back
track,
then, like 2020,
N64
2021.
Bowser's Castle. This had a
Alright.
mighty improvement during this year for both
Yeah.
categories. Now, on No Glitch, Luke dunks out a humongous improvement relative for this track category. He goes from a high 0.5 to a mid 0.4. I'm biased because this is one of my favorite tracks, okay?
It's fine.
I don't have enough time to express how impressive it is to get this level of a time.
Yeah,
On this
we
track.
can all agree on that, I guess.
The future is doing
Not
that
biased.
drifting ramp all 3 laps that saves some time.
Some
Not
time.
a lot, but
Yeah.
some.
Yeah, some.
But still, this is the longest category of the game for time trial. The ultimate test of consistency and just having very crisp driving.
Yeah.
The first half is relatively simple.
Every single drift that Luke does in this run, he knows exactly what the hell he's doing. There's no backing up. There's no weird shit that you do. Okay, I'm not even gonna explain the niche stuff. I might do that another time, but like every single turn where he goes for the turn, gets the MT, gets the wheelie, he gets the job done every single turn. He might lose like these micro time losses everywhere compared to the BKS, of course, but like if you look at how fucking long this category is, you can't expect it to be any closer than this. Luke could definitely get a 0.3, but if he doesn't improve this is still a goated run, and if it stays like this forever, I don't mind, you know.
Second half.
We'll take a look at that one time loss where he like actually lost some time, but everything else in this run is pretty
Things
good.
get a little bit tricky.
Pretty good.
And to do all of that
Pretty
as
textbook.
precise as he does it is just so hard to do. Because also, if anyone knows anything about this in the past, me talking about this, as players know, the bridge
a
up
half
at the
there.
beginning is very lucky.
Got chain lap
because
one,
you can't
so
go completely flat every time. It's human RNG.
a little bit high of a ramp,
control
but
all the
yeah,
factors
we're talking
unless you're doing
literally
a
like
task
10,
of it.
20
I
ms
think
time
even
losses.
tasters have some difficulty
That
controlling
was a
variables
really
that
good
completely
last
flat
turn.
bridge and not
Lap 2
bounce.
was definitely the
Because what
worst
players
overall,
run
but
into is they bounce right before the read chain wheelie happens, and that's why a lot of players like myself would give up in the past playing this track at the highest level.
yeah.
So to have this world-class driving, consistency, everything across the board to perform like this is so insane. And
That's
I
the time
believe he
loss.
failed a very
And it actually, the way Luke actually saved that didn't make him lose that much. But it does look really bad. If anyone else got this kind of mistake in a run, they would lose way more than what Luke lost. Luke got the best possible outcome from this fail.
this is so insane. And I believe he failed
Yeah.
a very high 0.3 or a low 0.4 before this time, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he did.
But still,
Little
like,
point low 4, but
I'm biased, but this is by far one of the most impressive.
I would say
world
that
records in
makes
the game as it
this
stands
run
right
even
now.
more impressive that
So-
he's had other runs that were
Hats
beating,
off to Luke,
that
man.
would have
Like,
beaten this lap 3
this is
ending.
such
So it's
a crazy time. There
Yeah.
are other players that can possibly give a Luke a run for his money down the line. But I'm telling you, it's very
that
tough.
will take a few years for
It is
sure.
very tough to possibly.
It took
achieve
Luke
that.
many years to get to this level. So seeing these players get close to Luke, I would say once we see people like, well, Emil is not going to improve much anymore, but once we get people like Zeke, Casey, Vincent, once we get these 3 players closer to Luke, let's say Zeke's at a 0.6, Casey gets a 0.5, Vincent gets a 0.6, by that time we could start predicting where this can go. But if it's only Luke and, Luke can make the difference for the world record, I would say 0.3 and that's that. That's where it's going to end. Even BKS don't give lower than a 0.3, so it's very hard to say how much this can still be improved. Because it is such a good run, but we all know that it can be better. But, yeah.
But we shall see what delivers
No,
here
definitely
down
to
the line.
29. No. Unless, okay, there's one strat that no one has done in a world record. I don't even know if that's been done in a good ass split in the game. Definitely not in a BKS, but even in a good split overall. Doing the ending strat where you when you do the, I'm just gonna show you because you guys obviously know, but maybe someone doesn't know, so I'm just gonna.
The most impressive world records in the game.
So you see this alignment, right? Right now he's parallel, but if he went a little bit to the left and clipped here and got the trick, then we could maybe see splits that would give a 229. I think Luke could make a challenge for himself to get a good one singular split, just a YOLO split, and get a 49 lap in general. We could be looking at to add that strat and then on top of that just drive very, very pristine lap. I think it could be like a mid 0.9, maybe even a low 0.9, but yeah, doing three good splits in a row to get a 229, not gonna happen with the strats. But that's like the only strat that I know could be implemented, but everything else I don't really know if there's anything else. What the TAS does, obviously TAS does TAS turbos, which saves. I'm not sure how much it saves, but I would say like in the coming years we will start to see more TAS turbos being added to very selected turns on different tracks in the game. Because doing TAS turbos isn't as hard as it is. Like, it can be a consistent thing in the future. It's not one of those things that you just go for and, oh shit, you made it. Like, it's one of those things that the world record will go for. They will go for it and make it consistently in attempts. So that's another thing that could be like implemented into this track because there's so many turns. But yeah, we'll see. But
so
if nothing happens, I'm still happy with this run. Like seeing this run is still very good. So no, nothing to complain really. But
there are other players that can
take,
possibly give Luke a run for his money down the line. But I'm telling you, it's very tough.
Could be used in a flap record at least. Yeah, I don't know if there's a. Well, obviously the respawn strat is not. It's its own thing. I think it's funny we have 3 categories for flap in this game, for this track. For no glitch flap, yeah, I think some of those things could be implemented for sure. Yeah, if anyone actually gives a fuck about flaps, because no one cares. But if people cared, then. Yeah,
entertain that.
Those would be the first things to look into.
But we shall see what delivers here.
But yeah, there's for Luke himself, there's very little reason to do anything stupid like that to improve, because no one's even close. I want to see some competition, and then I want to see what's gonna happen. I don't blame Luke for not doing those things, because very little reason to do that.
Of all categories. Before I move on, I must say that I would have loved to be watching his actual world record, but for some reason, his ghost data is not available on the world record site, on Mario Kart leaderboards, and on chat itself is not there either. So we're actually watching his previous WR that he set, because he set more than one WR in a short amount of time, which is completely crazy. For how hard this is, and getting a first world record here, and doing it 3 times, I think it was, for 3 improvements. Like, oh my god.
So why is this record approved then? Was this done live? Like,
James gets his
what's
first
the proof?
set of world records here, which is really impressive. And reading his descriptions, I believe James only started playing the game like 2 years ago or something like that.
Nice, Carter. What's your goal?
From never playing at all,
going for a world record?
Doing arguably, possibly the hardest feat in the game for a glitch. And getting
Logan?
Multiple WRs. Yeah. And now he has like the ultra shortcut Desert Hills fast lap roll.
No, you're talking about core.
Really
well,
impressive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that video too in the description because I think that story should be highlighted too. You can read what the story is about because he's been trying very long for that
Wait, have
too.
you
And that was
have
really
NMeade
cool to
done a
see it through.
story about that,
But
or
yes,
he's just talking about the
this should be the
original?
take-home
We'll
message,
check.
folks.
Check. But
A lot of people asked me in the past, you know, can new players get good and possibly get world records? You're watching it here. 2 years from scratch, and now James got multiple WRs. It can happen for sure.
yeah.
Logan's time was already pretty strong, but now James has been pushing it quite a bit. Now there's more gaps as well for the BKS. Getting a very fast alignment, doing a glitch right away is what's going to render a very fast time and fast no glitch driving. But guys, with that in mind, this has been a mouthful. It's been 2 hours
All right.
of nonstop
We'll go. We'll watch the
commentary.
RWS run though.
The future
We'll do that.
of Mario Kart Wii time trial is brighter than ever. I wish you all the best of luck in 2025 for your time trial endeavors.
Nice.
I love doing these in the past.
Cool video like every year. What's my final take on this video or in general? I think MKW in general, the activity has faded. Every year we see less and less new players. Every year we also see less improvements. That's just because COVID hit. COVID made this game popular again. Without COVID, we wouldn't be seeing this kind of activity anyway. So I'm glad for that. But I do not think that the activity is rising necessarily. It's kind of declining every year. And that's just what you expect from a game that's this old. Unless there is something game breaking, you know, like Flambam or any strats that, you know, are so out of the blue, you know, happen, whether it's RTA or TAS. So those kinds of things need to happen consistently in order to keep this game alive. Unfortunately, people will lose interest from a game that has nothing new going for it. So that's the only way, at least for TTs. Obviously, we have online, but online and TTs are very separate there. Even though it's the same game, it's very separate. Nintendo literally made 2 separate communities with this game. So, yeah. But even with online, I think it's been declining overall. Like, the launch had to switch the way queuing works in order to keep it active, which is a good step forward, but it still doesn't really fix the inactivity in certain aspects of the game online. But yeah, cool video. Let's watch the RWS run.